enough to try and pass through the strait, and one of them did make it through.
I'm like, damn, you didn't call me out of nowhere.
Even though it was hit, it did pass on through. That generally is giving us a decent understanding that if we continued on with this campaign, within 3 to 4 weeks, which is what we generally expected, we might be able to see the convoy duties are possible within the strait, and that we'll be able to
get PS5 when you have a PS5
out into the global world, which is a much better situation than having no oil going through the strait at all. So I would have to be honest with you. That's my main concern. Like, it doesn't, like the massive strike thing, it doesn't really matter if that's even happening. The more important thing is that we have to stay on our strategic objectives, and we have to be able to achieve those.
Don't think golf for no PS5 for like $3.
One battlefield that counts, which is the Strait of Hormuz. If we do not see a victory,
I'm about to play the in a second.
So,
they only probably went up because of the GTA shit, but then go. I know people on eBay get a used jump, and they'll start going for 300.
I'm very tied up with the breaking news over here. I forgot about that. But that way I give you a good cue. What do you think of that, Matt? Do you think that, like, what I'm saying here is generally correct? Like, the battle, or more so, the war is going to be basically fought and won within the Strait of Hormuz? Or do you think that it could be fought and won elsewhere, like, you know, bombing Tehran for the 9,000th time?
I would say if we can get control of the Strait of Hormuz and get that leverage back on the U.S. side, I would say that we've basically won the war.
They just they kind of ask for money and shit. They'll do something so you gonna give me some money. I say, dude, you don't eat my tongue. If they're doing stupid, they see that, man. That's what I thought. That's how you can text me, man. You got a motherfucker that eat my tongue with a spoon if you want to take your money.
You can simply send in those aircraft. So if we have the Strait of Hormuz under our control, the war is won, in my opinion, at that point.
You know, Ranch, you got a man, what you say?
I'm not saying that's an easy
thing. He said, boy,
that's going to take a lot of
work. I think that is, boy.
A long, drawn process.
I think I would just bring a big tank from. You know, my fuck off this boy, get the fuck off my phone, broke ass nigga.
But it's actually a good point. I'll explain it. Someone said,
he said, what's up? You got the money? I said, you want money, you gotta drink my tongue. Then I said, boy, get the fuck off me.
This is how the war is won.
Looks like you shut it down. This looks like charity. Looks like Mother Teresa charity house. It looks like I work for the charity, the Autobahn charity bond.
Being called the president to be able to understand how the war is fought and won. I hate to say it,
I like this Battlefield. I told you to download this film. This is the best game to read about.
We have degrees to kind of pertain to this, but the war being lost.
That Battlefield. Some kid drowned in the pool. I'm sad. That's just bad.
The Strategic Petroleum Reserve here in the United States.
They drowned at the BBC pool. Oh, where the fuck did all this water come from? This water was never there. The fuck, they had updated the game. I ain't never seen no water come out of this fountain.
This is currently the oil petroleum reserves in the United States of America. The world requires about 100 million barrels of oil per day to be able to run, and the world also produces about 100 million barrels a day with a little bit.
You know, it's super sexy. I'm looking at these dudes. Girls and skirts, nigga. I think all girls should have to wear skirts. It's all day. Mandatory fucking outfit.
23 to 25 million barrels of oil a day.
Girls have to wear skirts. I think skirts are more sexy than leggings.
100 million barrels of oil, but there's only 75 million barrels of oil for sale.
All girls should have to wear skirts. Where we go.
Because of that, if the Iranians keep the Strait of Hormuz blockaded, there will eventually come a time when the world runs out of oil, including the United States of America, and we will see that as a result, the entire national economy here in the United States.
That's short enough for enough little player.
Like an example of what that looks like, you can look at the Russian Federation.
That should be the mandatory.
Their country and see what that actually looks like. It looks like the literal apocalypse.
Damn, big you a little freak. That's why you going to yeah me. This little dumb said that's not short enough. God damn, little freak. Little freak bitch. She said that I need that shit. Bucket loud, bucket. Yeah, I said mandatory for no shorty.
Where the pressure would become so great that the United States largely has to just
Every girl fucking 50 get out.
want and give them whatever they want to just try and see that the Strait of Hormuz might be reopened.
Needless, what does that
I know that
mean?
it seems a little bit know-it-all to say that this
Needless.
was won and lost, and it sounds like
Needless is a part of
but
it.
no offense, we kind of do know more than the president.
Well, then that's good everyone.
That's just common sense. So I hope that explains that for anybody who may have had a question as to.
I'm going to talk about where you can see a little bit of the sky meat, and then, yeah, I mean, you need that little bit of peekaboo. Little peekaboo. You know, got a little peekaboo. That, basically, it's got to be long enough to make you want to, like, tilt your head down and try to get a peekaboo.
I hope that does address that the best I can. Once again, best I can, at least from what I know. And I don't know everything, but
Dude, I'm trying to well for it, man.
that's just basic common sense. It doesn't really take a genius to know that. But moving us on out of that bit of news, we have been able to
So now I'm trying to get a peekaboo.
Or maybe preparing to destroy every IRGC force along the coast. We don't know what you'll
I'm trying to get out there and get a little head. I'm trying to get a peekaboo. I'm trying to follow the bitch behind the stairs. She go up the steps. Get a peekaboo.
Through the Strait of Hormuz. So it does seem that at the moment, the United States is trying to see if they can get an international.
I just want a bitch that I can chase around the house. That's gonna get you. I'm running my Facebook.
Try and escort tankers through the Strait of Hormuz and provide them anti-ship and anti-drone defenses the whole time that they're passing through. This
Want
may be
a
showing
bitch
us
that I
at
can
least
chase around the house.
That the United States may still be focalizing a anti-coastal campaign, and they're now
Yeah,
starting to
everybody
expect
fucking with this AI shit now. I mean, I started with AI shit.
several weeks. The Strait of Hormuz may see a threat level that's
Whoa, double kill, nigga. I'm gonna get you.
Oil tankers out of the Persian Gulf and into the outside world, and unladen tankers going from the Gulf of Oman and into the Persian.
Where is this water coming from on this map? I've never seen no water.
That sounds fairly positive. And if we're still working on a coastal campaign, this
I
is
just want a bitch that I can chase around the house.
intelligence that IRGC forces are getting integrated at a sufficient rate weekly that eventually the threat level will be low enough to allow for convoys.
So you don't play Call of Duty?
But once again, we're also hearing on the other hand that a mass bombing campaign might be conducted, and the president's fingerprints might be all over that plan, and then we might abandon the anti-coastal campaign entirely. I don't really know. But moving us on out of
Man, he mad. What you mad for, bro? You ain't getting no kills no way, bro.
President Xi at a recent invasion of China told me that he would not under circumstances.
You ain't getting no kills no way, Brody.
The statement included Chinese companies. Considering our relationship,
Yeah,
I take
started on the
and
lip.
besides, I'm doing him very big favors. Also,
I
Yeah.
love that relationship with the enemy.
They can hear me talking about fucking bitches and skirts.
Like, let's just say,
I didn't want a bitch that I can sit on.
I was like, oh man, you can take my word for it. I'm not going to smoke again. I'd be like, I'm not buying that. Like, yeah, like who the hell takes their enemy's word for something? It's like, come on. It's like, even if China, like everybody puts like a good face on in foreign policy. Like everybody always acts like they're your friend.
Girls are getting too sexy though. I don't. If you look, I was looking at an old fucking movie from like the '90s. I can't remember what it was, but I was like, damn, bitches are like way more sexier now. They got ass titties and butts and shit. Like the '90s bitch had like a A cup and shit with like little ass chi-chis. She had the little chi-chis. Now bitches like this fucking double D or better right now. I'm gonna be there.
But also,
Big boobies, big boobies.
Likewise, President Putin, despite the horrible war going on in Ukraine, the relationship remains, as it does with President Zelensky, told me that he would not sell weapons to
So you want some cheap little chi-chis?
not sell weapons to Ukraine, but to NATO countries.
Man, bitch, you got them big old titties. These would be like, why you don't suck on my titties more? There's a big
Often in terms of Iran are, in my opinion, not participating. If they did,
You say you didn't have to?
certainly not in their best interests.
What? Right there, you really didn't caught the amnesia, but okay, I'm gonna
He's taking the word, and then then he's like suggesting that they might.
I don't want bitches I can choose around the house.
If you have doubts about their being honest, then why are you taking them at their word? I mean, that's a
Cheese,
suck
on my cheese.
I'm not disagreeing with you there. I mean, I think that's an astute observation.
See, man, that little dog Julio is fucking keeping up on a nigga.
He's kind of just admitting and screwing ourselves over in one way because he's basically saying, because I like
bitches I can chase around the house.
generally know that that's not true, because we know, by the way, that China's been shipping weapons to Iran. I mean, enemies are giving weapons to our enemies. We keep doing that. You know, it's like, oh yeah, China and Russia, they literally just give away free weapons to our enemies. But on the other hand, we're trying to fleece all of our allies for a little bit of cash for our people on our side to fight them. So giving ourselves just a complete disadvantage. It's like, what's the point of that? You know, it's like basically we're admitting that in this post here. It's like, what would be the point of that?
I about to follow big old nigga come back out of nowhere with a vision. Oh, look at Obama. Nigga, Obama over there playing grab ass. Nigga, I swear these niggas be going to them colleges, fucking all the little college bitches. That's what I should have went to college.
That's not in vogue these days. But moving us on out of that bit of a statement, out of the Strait of
Well, you talking about Michael?
We have been able to see as well that the United States did announce that trying to violate the blockade against Iran, and we also were able to hear of strikes near to the Surik naval yards on the IRGC.
That's what everybody's saying. There's no man.
Additionally, we also were able to hear of other strikes that were conducted in Bepahan within the Kuzestan province, and also
I mean, his kids, dog. Them two girls are fucking agents.
Bebaham in Kuzestan, showing the fire resulting from the U.S. strike within this area.
He's a transsexual. If you look at the blue picture, the joke to get me is I got a video a long time ago I seen where he was like, Michelle. He was like, you don't do anything. You don't accidentally call your wife a man's name. That's the key to 300 on fucking birth. What's the key to fucking goddamn school trip? Schoolyard trip, right? 4
people dead, 3 Iranian army personnel, and 1 soldier. That's like saying the U.S. has sustained 10 dead. 7 of them were in the U.S. Army, and 3 of them were soldiers. It's like, why aren't they all soldiers if they're in the army? You know, it's like, that isn't really making a whole lot of sense.
I just want a bitch that I can chase around the house.
Probably just like some bandits or something, and then they had 1 soldier in the mix.
3 Vikings were killed, and 1 soldier was killed. It's like, I guess, I suppose. I mean, I don't know how else to take that. But moving us on, we also were able to
that's about the only song he ever made that I like.
have still been wilding out. They were able to, they did give a warning today.
You said I'm overplaying it?
Preston Stewart, that given that, in the event of the continuation of such crimes, our plan will be to exact retribution from criminals. Many officers and soldiers of the American Army, out of fear of the fire of the Muslim fighters, have abandoned their bases and are using buildings and cities as locations to direct their crimes. That's not happening. Therefore, we warn the general public of the countries where American military personnel are stationed to immediately move away from a 500-meter radius around hidden locations of American military personnel in order to ensure their safety. So that was a statement put out by the Iranians today, largely trying to justify in the future what's going to be attacks against civilians inside of these Gulf states by saying, oh, well, there was a U.S. Army soldier hiding in the apartment block. We also were able to see as well that according to the New York Times,
what the fuck that means?
Officials briefed on the assessments. Ended up blowing away his father.
Go to Howard University, 8 years ago.
From such an eventuality happening in the future. I would tell you this, folks. We have been saying for a while here on the channel that the U.S. strikes in the first phase of the war had given the Iranians all the reason they needed, which they were already working towards to do anyways, but they basically reinforced their belief that they need a nuclear weapon and they're going to be working on it. So not really a shocker there that they're still trying to work on nuclear weapons. We've also been able to hear as well if they are there at the moment.
movie called the Mia Show.
A lot of people are still circling back to
The Mia Duncan television, this shit, part 3.
The Iranians will by bombing Tehran for the 9,000th time. And so what are you thinking about bombing Tehran for the 9,000th time? Are you thinking that's going to work, or that's going to fail for the 9,000th time? And what are you thinking?
Oh, really? Oh, really? Really? That's you gonna do it? You gonna do it for my mind?
It could be inaccurate, possibly. It could be that, you know, fake news, I like to talk about. But the reports are claiming that the U.S. is seeking to break Iran's by launching a heavy bombing campaign that we could see start this weekend, possibly, with B-2 bombers, B-1Bs, all kinds of other strategic bombers as well. So, what are your thoughts? 48% said the Iran regime will cannot be broken, while 24% says a 50-50 chance of success, and 20% said that will likely work, and I do agree. And I would say it is nearly impossible to break Iran, the regime's will.
Oh no! Oh my god!
To do what? It's like
I don't want to better be better for my big better.
with a martyrdom mindset. So the ultimate like sacrifice and the ultimate like achievement is death in that regime. That's their achievement.
Come on, team. You guys are just, we just had the lead. Y'all threw the lead away.
So, I mean, what are they scared of? I mean, apparently, you know, dying is like...
That's like how to fucking do all the work.
I don't think their will can be broken because the more of these bombers the U.S. sends in and takes out more...
You been watching Netflix? Anything good on Netflix?
And therefore, they're actually strengthening the will of the regime to fight because that's what they believe is the strongest honor. So, there's just simply no way to break the will. I think that sort of highlights a fundamental misunderstanding of the current U.S. leadership of how Iran truly functions. They're not really understanding that. I'm not sure why they're not understanding that. They're trying to put like an American mindset over the Iranian regime mindset. And they're also somehow correlating us to Venezuela and how that situation went. But Venezuela wasn't run by Venezuela. They were simply money hungry. That's a lot different than being a radical extremist like you have in Iran. So it's just a misunderstanding to the So I'm going to say I'm with the 48%. Their will really can't be broken. They have to achieve some goal or it's pointless. But Enforcer, what say you?
Let me ask you a question here, and this is going to be a good one. The U.S. bombed every single major city in the Empire of Japan and Nazi Germany in World War II. Is that what ended the war? And Matthew, let me ask you, was that what ended the war?
No.
No, it wasn't. It was the United States strategically defeating the German army on the field and also the Japanese army on the islands in the Pacific that finally led us to an ultimate victory against the Empire of Japan and the Nazi Germans. That's how wars are fought and won. Now, those sorts of strikes do have impact when they're done strategically. When you're bombing, say, like Dresden, to try and knock out a ball bearings factory, or you're bombing Cologne to try and knock out an aircraft factory, those sorts of things have strategic impact because they're depriving the enemy of the ability to wage war. But bombing cities and bombing targets just for the hell of bombing them doesn't do anything. Remember, everybody, that the Germans bombed the British every day for a year in 1940 during the Blitz. London was leveled, and there's hardly anything left standing there from before.
I ain't played with that thing in a minute. I thought he just worked on working it. Because I'm a free thinker.
The British continued on.
You got that nigga
Bombing cities with no strategic objective doesn't do anything to win a war. And so we have to be able to bomb the enemy forces with a strategic mindset.
Yeah, bullshit, nigga. I lost respect for that nigga, really. Because I fucking, I would not allow my bitch to be acting like that, bro. I'll be like, bitch, shut the fuck up, bitch. I'm playing with my people, bro. Like, you on bitch right now.
Targets of the U.S. military operation.
This nigga letting me bitch fucking run this nigga.
Every other city in Iran doesn't matter. It's only the Iranian forces along the coastline, the Iranian material equipment used to attack ships within the area, and the threats that they face. And that is our main priority. If we
now, I'm not saying you cut the bitch out. Now, me, I'm cutting the bitch out. But shit, nigga, you supposed to put your foot down. You supposed to be the man in the house.
That is a very bad
So that
a mass bombing campaign is going to break their will, because historically it never does.
Nah, nigga, you fucking married. Where the bitch gonna go? I just want a bitch that I can take around.
But we actually have breaking news coming out at this moment right now. So Matthew, what do we got?
So we're getting some more alerts going off in Saudi Arabia. Believe it or not, it sounds like the Houthis might have launched a second wave of strikes, which to me is becoming...
Yeah, man, that's it. He's also motherfucker. Come on, bro. If I have a wife, bro, and I'm fucking playing the game and the bitch fucking is losing her mind, getting jealous and shit, that shit is gonna get played out too. It might be cute at first, like, oh, you miss your daddy, but after a while, bitch, that shit, bitch, you a battle.
But there's apparently a break out. Also, let's see here. So they're saying, so I'm getting some more details here. Apparently, this might be for the Yanbu government. So that's also a spot that was allegedly hit already. There's another alert heading out for the Yanbu. That might indicate they're going back.
No from fucking downtown, nigga. I created that.
But that is interesting, though. Another wave of strikes right now.
And that is quite interesting right there. It seems as though at the moment, folks...
No, I just brought that out the woods right here. It's thought it would be good punch one.
Apparently, at this moment. We'll be seeing if anything happens so we can get any evidence of. We have a feeling that it'll probably be coming out at some point. I mean, we haven't gotten anything from Yanbu yet. And considering now a second round of attacks around the city, there might be some videos coming out of air defense interceptor action. If there's
now, honestly, all stories are like that, bro. Like, bitches don't like when you play games because they fucking... Once you fucking snuffed up underneath them, but you as the motherfucking goddamn man in the house, you supposed to be like, you fight down. I'm talking to my familial like poster notes for nigga, bitch. You embarrassing me in front of the homie.
Before we continue on with our normal news coverage for the night, covering everything else that's happened in the Middle East for the day, of which there is still
so La Familia, nigga, you been over there trying to say it.
United States of America. I do want to make sure that we
I'm gonna cut that Familia, nigga.
been here tonight. We have seen viewership of 20
Familia culture, no further.
we also have 116,000 people.
AKA the gang, AKA my guys in the gang. You embarrassing me. That's what he's supposed to have told that bitch. He's supposed to have been like, whatever her name counts.
We actually have more breaking news coming out right now. Matthew, what do we got?
So this attack here is as big as the first attack of the Houthis, and the blowfish. Not them, but this is as big as the first attack, if not bigger than the first one that we saw. So we're seeing that the Yanbu government is currently under a warning. Also, the Jazan...
That's because that bitch scared that if I rub off, you know, I got an infectious personality. If I rub off, that nigga might realize, boy, he might go get him a better wife. That's what he did. He should have been done that shit. He wasted all his life with that bitch. I wouldn't have wasted my life with no bitch like that.
The Houthis are really going in. They're really going in pretty
He fucking been with her fucking goddamn since he got out of high school or some shit.
We have a large number of flights on the ground.
Nah, she picked him or some shit.
Holding short of the runway, waiting
He been controlling that nigga from Jump Street. He picked him and married him or whatever, so
taxi to the runways as well, and one of them appears
to some shit like that, you know, fucking restrictions.
I cannot unfortunately find any aircraft that are heading into the airport right. Actually, let me try and see if I can find let's see, airport and runway details we need.
Yeah, but this nigga Jimmy said no, what the fuck? They're bringing him to the...
That one's apparently, I'm guessing, is on the ground still.
Oh man, that's crazy money. God damn. That's because that bitch probably trying to get his money. Jimmy ain't trying to break bread.
This to be able to tell. But beyond that, I can't really see that there is a closure, at least for the moment. If there was one, it might have happened right before we looked at it, or it might be a false report.
Maybe so. We'll have to wait and see with that. But they're alleging that something's happening at Giant. We've seen on and off flight disruptions throughout various...
Yeah, nigga, I'm not cheating. I told you ain't trying to break bread with the bitch.
Which is expected, because obviously...
When you marry a bitch, you get all your shit.
Missile attack, that would be dangerous. So we have heard of them being on and off, but we can't...
That's what I was watching all last night was fucking, Peter's videos. These hoes be cheating like shit, but the nigga, it was like guys, like, the nigga was like, yo, he said, I'm gonna make dinner for us, yo. And he was like, but then the captain, it was like, I invited the man who she cheated on me with to dinner. And then fucking, the doorbell rings and he was like, honey, can you get that? And then he followed her with the camera, and then she opens the door, and then she shut the bitch quick. And then he was like, "What's wrong? Why don't you want to pick up the phone? Why did you open the door? Is that Eric? Why you want to let
missiles per wave, but they're fleeing quite a large number of them.
And then the comments was like, "Nigga, she closed the door like the Grim Reaper was there."
Yemen for
They've been putting these bitches out, and then the one nigga, that shit was crazy. He was crying and shit. He started off tough as shit. He was like, "That's my girl, bro. That's my wife, bro. You talking to my wife, bitch? I'm gonna fuck you up. I'm gonna fuck you up." And then this nigga was like, "Wife, man, shit, yo, why she on my phone?" He was like, bro, like, for real, that's my wife. Can you please stop talking to her?"
This is really just a Saudi Houthi issue anymore. This is now a global.
This nigga back at this nigga, I'm like, bro, you can't handle this, bro. He was like, "Man, we got kids and everything." Bro. Like, that's my wife. Can you stop, bro? Like seriously, I'm asking you, man, can you stop? You just playing a little game. I'm just like, you fucking broke down. I'm not going to eat a video. Like, I'm not trying. I'm just saying, bro. If you want life, why are you talking? Why are you talking?
Why are they really defending themselves very well?
Well, I mean, they struck the
I'm like, that bitch is for the same way
we're doing it with Iran.
But see, that be the fucked up part. Cause see, it's different. When it's your shorty, you can say some shit like that. But when it's your wife, nigga, that's probably, that shit probably deep. That shit deep. You got fucking kids with the bitch. You got skin the bitch. I'm fucking chopping that bitch up in the cut.
Support from Iran.
And I'm fucking bitch fucking do some shit like that, bitch. I'm fucking chopping her up and putting her in the fucking in the kettle. Put the bitch in the kettle.
Try and get the Saudis on board with. We'll conduct a joint operation.
Then the niggas was putting in the videos. They got niggas putting bitches clothes out. He's like, "I put your shit out, bitch. Like, get you come get all your shit, bitch. I'm putting you." The niggas putting bitches. He's like, "Where I'm gonna go? What you mean?" He's like, "Bitch, you should have thought about that for you to see this." You should put all that. That shit was diabolical. The bitch had a surgery coming up. She didn't cheat it. This nigga say, I took her off the surgery. I took her off my surgery. I took her
Now, granted, there could be some in the air right now that have their transponders turned off. Excuse me, by the way, I almost choked there for a second. But they could have their transponders turned off while they're going around trying to intercept stuff. But I'm largely not really seeing too much of it. And also the fact we're seeing confirmed impacts in possibly various different areas of Saudi Arabia suggests that their air defense isn't very well either. So I don't know. To me, it seems like rather lackluster by the Saudi Arabians. Like, and also it's like we don't have to jump in and now defend Saudi Arabia on top of everything else we're already knee-deep in the region. I mean, at some point, these Gulf states and Saudi Arabia's got to stand up for themselves at some point.
I would agree, but at the same time, we can't always take the principle of let's leave allies to fight everything on their own. When something comes around, that's how our alliance is going to start collapsing. Because Saudi Arabia, you can just look at
that shit. Them bitches been giving it. It's been crazy. You saw one like that where the bitch dancing and shit. And the caption said, he with her boyfriend, and that was the dude. That nigga he looked fucking hurt. And then that nigga just turned around and started walking out the fucking concert. Like that. Chris Brown been breaking the home. He was fucking
There wouldn't have never been a war with Iran. The Strait of Hormuz wouldn't have been closed. They wouldn't see a significant cut in their exports, and they wouldn't see that their western ports are getting blown up right now by the Houthis. So if we're seeing all of these extra calamities coming around because of the United States of America, and then the response is, well,
yeah, that nigga Chris Brown be motherfucking
help me around here, like the guy in the back room said. That's not really giving a lot of allies a lot of incentives.
That nigga Chris Brown be rubbing his shit all on their body, man.
Because China would at least guarantee them some semblance of stability. The U.S. is coming around causing nothing but disruptions.
They like, let me take you down. I really want to take you to show you what I'm about.
And they could like call on Pakistan. It's like everybody is so quick to call on the United States, and yes, we should be there to help, but it's like we can't carry the entire load, though. I mean, we can't do that. We're already knee deep in a situation that we're almost in over our heads at this point in the Strait of Hormuz and the entire Iran situation. We don't really have a plan there, but yet everybody else wants us to come and rescue them at the same time we're trying to rescue ourselves. So, I mean, they should call on Pakistan them to honor their agreement to help defend Saudi Arabia or something. But I mean, Saudi Arabia and these Gulf states are going to have to either get off their asses and start doing something, stop being cowardly, and actually fight back for once.
Well, I'm not saying we do everything for them. Like, I think you're misunderstanding. I'm not saying like Saudi Arabia gets to sit back and take it easy and we do all the work for them. Like, we get in there and say, hey, look, this is a problem. Houthis.
Let me take you down.
This isn't good for
Tell you what I'm about.
And we go in and we start dealing with the Houthis. We'll give you all the air support y'all can have.
I don't see what the bitch is really like about the nigga. The nigga with fucking damn woman.
And go in and make
Woman beater. But I'm not a girl, so I guess it's because he's light skinned.
In the latter part of last year, it's now Saudi aligned. So the Saudis would like to see the Republic of Yemen now
Covering the beat Rihanna ass.
because it's a Saudi aligned government. So if we go in with that,
I think it's because he's light skinned and got blonde hair.
in charge of the whole country, all you have to go in and do.
Bitches be losing their shit for blonde hair, light skinned, nigga, light skinned.
The Houthis, and we
When nigga be singing and shit, nigga all acting like he emotional. Bitches like that emotional
they
shit.
can't get away with doing nothing. They got to do something. But we also will help them to kind of be like that motivator, be like, here you go, we can help you out with that at least to some degree. You know, we'll be there for you as allies should be. That's how I look at it. But I don't know, folks. What do y'all think in the chat? And also, I'm seeing Matthew say check the firm satellite, and let me see if I can get the firm satellite for the global fire map, and let's take a look at what we've got here.
I'm seeing some people are saying that the fires are now registering in Saudi Arabia on the coast, so maybe we can see something. It usually takes a minute for this to update because it does a quick pass.
Yes.
Oh wow, we do have some fire signatures.
Let me take you down.
On this building here and that oil loading port, but it looks like the firm satellite's picking up the fire.
This motherfucking ASAP Rocky don't look like he's happy with the big finger.
The pipe works to the east. So that's where we're seeing that.
I seen them niggas was fighting and shit. They fucking in the damn. ASAP Rocky trying to holler at another bitch. She getting mad. So much she want to leave and shit. This nigga was like, just tell the bitch. He stayed at the park.
And in Yambu Port, there is a fire, but this fire is signature right here, folks. If I check it, I bet you that's probably like an oil thing, the burn off valve. Let me go check that, just to make sure that we can get that right.
Rihanna?
So it's right there.
She doesn't know where to read. That bitch Rihanna is ugly.
Right there, possibly some sort of.
Yeah, we still haven't gotten any visual confirmation of Yambu getting hit yet.
She's not that pretty, bro.
Firms is really showing like a large.
Oh, she can't do nothing but go to hell.
Explosion type fire signature.
Yeah.
What was that? Jazan. That other.
Go to hell and take it down and tell me what I'm about.
Definitely took a hit. Let's see if we can see anything in Damon, considering we had a rumor from there.
Rihanna is like a 7.
Oh, that's just a burn.
And her voice is annoying.
So the burn all valves are going and taking over here, but we don't really see any unusual fire signatures out of these areas, and we also don't really see any unusual fires right now.
Like the umbrella, that's about the only song. Umbrella, Bella.
So there is definitely a very significant fire raging right now.
You can stand under my umbrella. When it is raining. Ooh, baby, it's raining.
So that's generally our situation for the firm satellite.
What's that other song? Forget that one other
I
song.
was gonna say, I love the fact that there's so much OSINT like these days. Like
Something about diamonds or some shit.
Fire satellite, we're able to see the fires, we're able to see ADSB.
I can't think of that song. It's like Kanye West on that jump.
Navigating all these platforms like we've gotten over the years.
What song that song is that?
How many conclusions you can make from comparing so many different platforms like that. That's
Kanye West Rihanna song.
Confirmation out of Yambu that was hit, and we haven't gotten that.
All of the lights, there it is. That's the best one.
That apparently there's no fire there either.
And so, while we are absolutely marveling, I have to say it really is cool. While we were
And that's what she was talking. That's about the book thing on the
everybody can have these days. You can pull up the same.
Now she like a fat bitch. She can gain some pounds and shit. Them fucking skinny bitches be getting fat as shit. I don't know what they
So our first super chat here is going to go to none other than
Bitch be skinny one day, next thing you know she a fat bitch.
And thank you very much much, Carlos, for that very generous of support right there.
Yeah, she fucking look like it.
He said it appears that all
well, yeah, those kids be making bigger fat. That's because they be losing they be also, I'm eating for two big body back there, big bang, big bang.
I would have to say it kind of looks like we're being led down.
Yeah, like you didn't see everything.
Because at the beginning we were very much in support of the
you whine, man. Oh yeah, that Nelly Patardo on that jump too. Credit card decline. Did I say I wasn't about to lose my mind? Oh no, that's Fergie. I call that bitch Nelly Patardo.
And I say for some reason like it's a mystery, but if I was to say it plainly, it's not because of the administration, as far as I can tell. And that might become prophetic tomorrow or the next day, depending on what the United States does over the weekend. And nobody will have a recourse.
Oh, speaking of Kanye West, you know who can get it, and I don't care what nobody say. Northwest, nigga, I'm risking it all.
Because we read military literature
Oh, baby, I'm risking it all. I don't give a damn. I'm beating that dog. Nah, man, that bitch got good genes. That bitch good, yeah. I like that little bitch. She kind of gothic. I like her gothic.
Now looks like we might be departing from it because it's been 2 weeks. Someone might have just gotten bored today and they've now decided.
So what? Don't y'all be talking about my little blue Northwest. I'm not one of the blue. You fucking gonna be a little gothic bitch. She says she like it when I beat her and spit on her.
We're almost at war with Russia right now, and we're
and she paid, and she got that paper. Nigga, we fucking go together. I'm getting her pregnant off the top.
To kind of just sit around and occupy
or a little Northwest. And she job thick. Nigga, I don't care what nobody does.
Them included. They're kind of
they was talking about something she fucking 12. I'm like 12. Where?
Help this channel to keep running. I hope that does address that well.
Where? Nigga, that bitch ain't 12. Bitch, that bitch goddamn thicker than her mama. I said she gonna be a problem. She gonna be a problem, bro. That's what they do with Northwest. I want to see her little concert. I ain't got the time.
Helping Ukraine and keep it up. And question from the chat.
And a big thanks to your support, Captain 80 Swedish. And I gotta say, we are doing our best to try and make sure to keep everybody in mind, supporting American interests, and also covering for Ukraine, which we're about to getting into. This is a very big part of the day's news. But I thank you massively for your support. Help this channel to keep on running. Because folks like you.
Molly said 10. I fucking fuck her team up, and I'm just starting to pressure on her team.
Day in and day out. And so, humongous thanks to you so much once again for that incredible support and helping us to keep this thing running. And we will make sure to take a question from the chat. So, Matthew, what do we got?
Oh yeah, she doing the concert now. Let me hear this with them up.
Said any news of Iraqi troops gathering on the border with Iran?
Now, oh yeah, she's a little big man.
I don't think we've covered that yet. Did we cover that yet about the Iraqi situation? Have we covered that?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, we did hear earlier that the Iraqis are apparently deploying their forces, like the Iraqi government, the official government.
You got that long ass motherfucking hair.
Militias, which are apparently launching drone attacks from Iraqi territory toward the Kurdish territories inside of Iraq. So we did see them mobilizing earlier. We saw some military vehicles going out, and apparently they were going out to go fight the people that are pro-Iranian. So I think that's what that's about. It's not necessarily an invasion of Iran that Iraq's trying to do. They're trying to get rid of the pro-Iranian forces in Iraqi territory. But Enforcer, what say you?
That's going to be what they are doing right now. So I would also have to agree with that. And I hope that does answer the question incredibly well. And a humongous thanks to you once again, Captain 80 Swedish, for sponsoring that live chat and helping us to keep this thing running. Because it is folks who go out of their way to support this channel that make this thing possible and make our news coverage a reality each and every single night. And so a huge thanks to you so much once again. And with that, we are on to the final question of the segment, and then we're going to be getting on into the rest of the news that we have for the night.
And our last one here goes to Ron Fannin. And thank you very much, Ron, for that $50 support. And we also appreciate that very, very much. He said LSA and take one from the chat.
And long live the Late Spring Army. And we will make sure to take one from the chat. So a humongous thanks to you for the incredible support, Ron Fannin, and helping this channel to keep it running as well. What do we got from the live chat, Matthew?
And this one goes to Lord Cog, who said, why do the Middle East countries do absolutely nothing in response?
Well, now Molly saying 10, you ain't fucking with Molly saying 10?
Generally, there's a whole bunch of explanations that we can give. Beating the shit out of them.
Molly Santana next up.
Said they're scared that they don't have enough air defenses, and with a large number of Iranian missiles that could be fired, they could see significant damage to civilian infrastructure and their country. Therefore, their lack of response is trying to mitigate the damage from the conflict. And the third answer is that they just don't.
I'm not entertaining this thing.
And so those would be about the three best answers.
On the way out here from my video.
Before anyone says, like someone just said, it's
that's the type of junkie me. I can raise that drone up. Right there.
Quiet or friendly place up until
make that drone a star.
The Iraqis went to war with Iran back
If
in
you
the
brought me a
80s.
new
The
car,
Iraqis invaded Kuwait in the early 90s. Syria had a civil war. Everybody was killed in Syria for about 12 years. Let's see here. What else? There was multiple military coups that resulted in a significant amount of deaths in Egypt. Saudi Arabia has also been at war with the Houthis for some time. Who else has the Saudis been at war with?
Damn, these niggas over here having phone sex with the AI and shit. What the fuck?
As well. And so generally,
humanity is going down fucking
amongst the Arabic countries or the Islamic nations, we want to call.
How you fucking having cyber sex with the cyberspace? Niggas ever say cyber sex with the cyberspace and cyber world and with a cyber girl.
Common historical trend throughout the region for the past century. I mean, the Islamic nations have fought each other about as aptly as they have fought Israel over the past 100 years. And so this modern period of that's something that's a bit of a to be entirely honest with you all. But anyways, with that, I hope that does address that the best I can. And a big thanks to your support and help this channel keep running.
Yeah, they throwing hella grenades in here.
Folks like you,
You'll never get any.
We wouldn't be able to make this thing possible. We wouldn't be able to keep it rolling.
Oh my god, I fucking shot that guy.
It is time for us to get back into the
well, you're playing Killzone? I remember Killzone, boy. We used to go to work on Killzone. You fucking boy. You used to go to work. That used to be the game, dog. Killzone 2?
Iraqi military deployments as it appears that they're now going to be trying to go out and prevent.
Now that game has some crazy gunplay too, dog. Killzone? That gun fucking used to be crispy gunplay.
Some level of concerted action to try and stop.
There's only been a few games that had like that crispy McCrispy fucking gunplay. The Killzone was one of them guns, boy. That dog, they used to go to work on Killzone. They just blink, and then you go back and got that. That shit used to make a crazy ass sound when you would get a kill. They're gonna be like, bleeding.
I couldn't tell you.
Niggas just deleting niggas on that Killzone.
We also were able to hear that a large number of jets were heard overhead in Kuwait.
And they had the mics, dog. That was like the first jump they had the mics for real. They just had the fucking mics for shit on that Killzone. I can't believe you don't know fucking Molly Santana. My little boo. My boo is crazy.
Outside of this, that inside the kingdom, we were able to hear that the
You're a little freak too. That's what I'm saying. Me, Molly, and North thought they had a little threesome in the pit and go for there. I mean, make a baby. Make a transformer baby.
So far. So it looks like the Gulf states may be getting off of their rear ends.
Like, Daddy, I'm pregnant. I'm pregnant. Oh, man. What we gonna do? Oh, man.
Stop being cowards and go out there and like actually fence for yourself. Like, yeah, we did it.
Niggas like this random black guy is seen with Molly and Lars and got him pregnant. A celebrity.
Yeah, I disagree. I think they ought to sit back and do nothing. I think that we ought to have U.S. soldiers over there feeding them grapes while they lay.
Man, I appreciate you being near my daughter.
Not hide behind the U.S. and pretend like they didn't do it. Like, oh, that might have been the U.S.
This nigga stupid. I appreciate you being near my daughter.
You're attacking at least. It's like, well, why? I just don't like
Oh,
that.
shit. Shut up, man.
I would have to say that I agree with you. It's I think
With the Beyonce, with the Destiny Child, the girl is mine. Anything in the news. When I was there, he wasn't man enough for me. That's Tony Braxton right now.
these days.
Would you marry me even though I made it? Even though she wasn't there,
We also were able to hear outside many of these actually did hit a
that's one of my favorite Tony Braxton songs.
Was struck by Houthi
Don't know about Tony Braxton.
sustained damage, according to the Saudi Transit Authority. And we also were able to hear an announcement by the Houthis that the Bab el-Mandeb closure is.
What y'all niggas know about that Tony Braxton?
In response to this, the Saudis then bombed al-Qaeda, which we were able to see some clips of here. There's one of the strikes.
Damn. That's some big hits.
Some big hits. We also were able to see more of the strikes in the port and the smoke rising from al-Hadida, everyone's favorite target within the region. And we also were able to see that the following locations were hit within Hadida port. A communication facility, Hadida port itself, and another communications facility on Cameron Island, which is within the Bab el-Mandeb. So we are seeing that the Saudis did take some action today against the Houthis. We also were able to see that the Houthis actually did fire off a service-to-air missile today against a Saudi aircraft that was operating
Say it again.
As you can see, a great ball of fire and fury is now flying at the Saudi aircraft. Oh, Lord, was stuck bar. Massive, anyways, moving aside that, not into Sanaa.
What am I saying? Motherfucking email and seen all
that came true like prophecy. Like that was, we put that on before the show, and then they started attacking, so I don't even have to cover that when that happened. And we also were able to hear that according to the Houthi Foreign Ministry, they said, sending attention to the Hadida province would be met with escalation for escalation, according to a statement carried by the Houthi-run Summit News Agency, according to the New York Times. So we do understand that they were making their threats earlier today, and they followed through on them. So we're mostly going to be seeing that the Yemeni Houthis will be now getting bombed quite heavily by the Saudis within the next day. Moving us on out of all that news within the Yemeni Houthi lands, we also were able to hear that the U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem today put out a warning saying that there's a security alert, and American citizens in Israel need to be ready for the potential for unforeseen escalation, which is giving us an idea something big is coming in the next 2 days. We also were able to hear that the flights were getting canceled by Lufthansa to Israel, from what we were able to hear. The Lufthansa group carriers, Austrian Airlines and ITA Airways, canceled their flights to Israel amid growing concerns over a possible escalation with Iran, because they don't want to lose the planes, and they also don't want to put crews in the middle of a war zone. So we are understanding that some companies are already preparing for the situation to get a lot hotter than it is right now. Also, we were able to hear that those two EA-37Bs made by L3 Harris are now on their way into the Middle East. How wonderful is that? These are flying command centers and communication centers, meaning that they are able to coordinate and communicate.
Like Molly said, I mean, I don't like bitches that wear wigs.
Much more efficiently than other aircraft. So the fact that these two aircraft are being brought in is definitely giving us an understanding that the
if you're a bitch and you wear a wig, then matter of fact, then I make you take that bitch off. You try to come here and me with that shit. I said, bitch, if you don't take.
Don't bomb Tehran.
Then where's God? I think you that fucking got too far.
I know that we don't speak of religion on here, and I will say this way. If you are a person who is of a faith, or of a cloth, or not of a cloth, it does not matter. Can you please pray that we do not bomb Tehran for the 9,000th time tomorrow, and that we actually do something in the interest of our country?
What? What thing are we keeping saying?
Everybody's kind of on board that if we bomb Tehran for the 9,000th time, that's going to be absolutely stupid, and it would be a lot better to do anything else rather than that, like, you know, taking out the coastal forces.
We can't even get what with it?
Can we all try and ask for that somehow? On from that, and on out of the Middle East.
You're Alabama.
Because we've actually been able to get some very interesting news out today.
He's doing Cardo like for twin sisters.
Still quite. I got gray whiskers, you see, quite a normal person, as many of y'all would know. But back when I was 18 and Matthew was 18, we actually had to.
Yeah, you were fucking Bama, nigga. I don't know. It's in your blood, isn't it?
And apparently, the U.S. is now implementing a readiness project to test large-scale national mobilization scenarios, according to the Wall Street Journal. Coincides with a new rule taking effect in December of 2026 to automatically register aged 18 to 26 using federal data sources.
I know you were Bama. You like, hey, Dad, what's up, boo?
So about when?
I gotta tell you a secret. I'm like, what's that? I'm a Bama.
I mean, you know, yeah, well,
I say Alabama. She said, no, I'm Alabama.
You see, that was what you call really thinking hard before you
Yeah, that bitch is a fucking donkey. That bitch a donkey bug. That's funny.
Go for it anyway. I was about to say.
What kind of biscuit? I think that shit is gross, dog. That shit is fucking turn on. Like, man, what's wrong with these girls? They're so broken, fucked up in these streets that you gotta fucking ask motherfucker to money, bro. That shit's becoming more and more of a theme.
I don't think women should be drafted, to be perfectly honest. If women want to volunteer, that's great, but I don't think they should be drafted. My personal belief.
Also, I just saw someone in the chat say, sounds like forced conscription. But have you ever heard of a draft? Have you ever heard of a draft before, man? Like, have you? That's what it is. A draft is forced conscription. Every country has...
That's gross. I don't want to know. That's prostitution.
But outside of that, though...
Puppy is free.
And also,
I'm here.
A little bit more details on it, according to Military Times.
You don't know what I'm looking for. You make it right. You sound like me. You make it up.
Mobilization of American manpower months before the government begins automatically registering men for the draft in December. So no longer will 18
I ain't giving a bitch a dime.
We have to get the letter in the mail telling you that you had to sign up, and then you had to sign up.
If you see me give a bitch a dime, nigga, I'm fucking nigga. You can fucking duck down here. Yeah, I can beat my ass.
You went to jail. So, so you know, a little bit odd. But
and that's not happening, is it?
I would have to say this is something interesting, folks, because you know what this sounds like.
What? You mean by you gonna get your ass beat?
Mobilization. It sounds to me, Matthew, like they're expecting that.
No, my man.
That's why I'm looking into that.
I'm not sure what the rate is of young men not signing up for civil service.
I just want to be so I can think about that.
And then they sent me a letter confirming I had signed up for it.
I just want to get there and I can chase her around the house.
The post office like you used to have to do. At some point. Anyway, I'm not sure why it wasn't. It's like, why do I have to like manually go sign up for it? It's like, don't know who I am. The federal government knows who we are, so it's like, why not just sign up automatically? I think there might have been some element of like making young men aware that you were in the draft systems. That way you were like mentally like aware of that fact. So that way if there ever was one, you wouldn't be like completely caught off guard by it. That might be some logic behind it. But now they're not even wanting you to know about it really. Now if it's automatic, you sort of get in there and you'll find out when you get the airline tickets in the mail.
Show up. No. Like, it's like, oh, man.
Report to MEPS. What's MEPS?
Yeah, man, that Fortnite shit is still going strong. I'm surprised.
Mad TV program? Like, it's like, oh yeah, it's Mad, all right.
I know.
Show up. It's like Disney World.
Don't I like it, what?
Only not themed. Like, it's like just
I price the light bit.
Except they don't point with two fingers, they point with one finger and it's the middle finger right at you and start screaming.
Yeah, I price used to be good. She's kind of ugly. I seen the video of her. I said, what the fuck happened to Icy?
The mascot actually just knocks
He used to be thick as shit.
like just every once in a while when you do something stupid, like they tell you to put on your socks, you play the
Ice
sock
Price was like, he went from being like an 8 to like a 4. I said, you see that shit, Griffin? Ice Price is a perfect example. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
No, I never went to it. I never did.
Now, you know who's actually sexy now? Ice Spice's sister. I see her in like someone with her. I said, ooh, that's my time. My time. Yeah, she was David C. Like, oh, that's her sister. It was like, oh, her sister, a little Puerto Rican, freaking let her in. Put them on the weekend, and on weekend, let her bust my weekend, let her weekend. Nah, she like a little thick little red bone jump, motherfucking jump with the fucking. She like BBW, dog. She has a big old titty, little fat butt jump. I said, oh, I was like, this is what Ice Spice used to look like. I said, her sister fucking BBW.
Volunteering
I would fucking fight bicycles.
At least in the Second World War. Well, in Vietnam, you could actually volunteer, and in Korea, you could. But in World War II, if we're talking about like a legitimate World War situation, and they start to see that a lot of people are volunteering for a specific group to
Let
go
me
do
see.
a
I'm about to
specific
look it
thing,
up. Ice
they
Spice.
stop
Here.
volunteering.
Is she in that dress?
Go, okay,
No,
everybody's
that's
going to have
not.
their number called up, and the government's going to tell you what
Ice
branch
Spice
you're going
character in
into, and when you
Fortnite.
go into the branch, what job you're getting. Because in the Second World War, back in
Oh,
the
that's
day,
gross.
the army, you could
That Nicki
volunteer for it,
Minaj
just
scandal
like
on Call of
today.
Duty started
In the
that
army,
shit.
you can pick your job. And so everybody after December 7th said, I'm signing up
Let
for
me
the army.
see.
I'm going to go and beat old Hitler. And they would go down to the enlistment office, and you know what they would all do? You know what they do, Matthew?
Yeah, look at Ice Spice. She's not
They
thick.
picked
She's
the
a goofy
logistics
looking.
job, so that way they didn't have to go to the front. And so then the army went,
She's
huh,
throwing
out of
fucking
all our
blood, throwing up gang
volunteers,
signs.
only 4% of them
Oh,
are
she's
choosing
on a
the
bunch of
infantry.
scams.
This is a problem. And so then the army went to Congress and said, hey, we need y'all to make it where nobody can volunteer anymore, and we're putting the draft pool with everyone else, that way we can tell them what they're doing instead of them picking
Well, she's
what they're
fucking
doing. And so the Congress went,
SpongeBob.
oh, okay. And then from then on, everybody, literally everybody,
This shit
had
is
this week to
stupid,
go and get
man.
called up, and then they get
That's
told what branch they were
what
going into and what job they were getting. Didn't matter what you wanted, you were getting told by the government at that point on everything.
Man, Molly
sadly, that's how
Santana can get it, bro. I'm
if we
trying
go
to
into
fuck
another
both of
war,
them,
and it's a
bro.
major one like the Second World War or a Third World War, for example, and it
I
ends up
got a
being a
little
pretty
crush on
long and
Molly
protracted
Santana
one,
right now.
they're
Don't
not
tell
going to
my
make it where
brother.
you can volunteer at all. You're just going to have to wait for
I
your
think
number to
she's
be
a
called.
shitty
So,
artist, but I wouldn't tell her
with that,
that.
moving on out of that situation in Washington, D.C., and on into the war in
She'd
Ukraine.
be like, how you like my concert, Daddy? I'm like, it was great.
Folks, and not a lot of time to cover it, actually. Like, I'm looking at the time right now.
I don't know how the fuck I came across Molly Santana.
We have a lot to
I think I've seen her on a concert on, what is that, Lyrical Lemonade. She fucking had a set. I've been watching that now over and over. At first I thought it was stupid, but now I've watched it a couple times and she's been growing on me. Now I got a little secret crush and shit. Feel your skin there. You know, I want to talk her over my shoulder and chase her around the house. Or while she sings her shitty music in my ear.
Into the Lottie and blew up a apartment building here on the Strata Bright. It was actually
That's my new song.
Since then, we've seen that NATO has been quite concerned about future action. And overnight,
He got that little goblin jump. You know, I always like a little goblin bit. I'm like a little bitch in one of motherfucking, you know what I mean? Trying to work with the devil and shit.
and right into Romania. But this time, it didn't stop anywhere near to the border.
Funny bullshit, yeah, man. I'm trying to see the bitch worship the devil and shit.
And it was quite literally headlining right for Bucharest.
I just want a bitch that I can use bitch around the house.
And it serves as the seat of government for the entire country. And this drone was going right for it. We got the report last night that a Romanian F-16 shot down a Russian one-way
Eric, you like my new
that
music?
violated Romania's airspace. It was intercepted near the town of Padina, more than 100 kilometers.
Did you call me like on a Tuesday or like on a Saturday at like 10 in the morning?
Going straight for Bucharest from what
Oh,
we know,
for shit.
and was shot down
Huh?
about 2/3 of the way to the capital city.
I think it was covering it. She be calling me random times. And then fucking when I don't pick up, I make people like, oh, it wasn't meant to be. So,
Are in fact armed.
somebody, you wanted to come home, you should have fucking not went too far. And then like, bitch, you know, I don't know how that, but y'all be copying y'all daddy stuff like that shit. But y'all don't be realizing, nigga, I be calling y'all block because y'all be blocking them. Nigga, I'm not sitting down trying. So now y'all gotta call me block numbers and shit. I'm like, bitch, I can't return your calls. But I'm a number of it. You called me block, so unless you keep calling me.
Against the capital of Romania, a NATO state, was it just Russian incompetence, intimidation? Matthew, what are people thinking about that? And what are you thinking about that as well?
So let's see what's happening in Romania,
I know, right?
which is a NATO member, of course. Now that we saw this drone get shot down literally outside of Bucharest, the capital city. What are your thoughts?
He was going to. He was talking about she's gonna come cook me food or something.
Tried to attack
He gonna
Bucharest,
cook me
and they
breakfast, and then she said something was, but you're not gonna fuck me. I'm not gonna let you fuck me. I'm not gonna let you fuck me. I was like, well,
They
man.
just didn't realize it was literally going to a NATO country.
You know, I'm a jerk.
Definitely an attack.
I'm like, bitch, what you fucking coming for, man, bitch? She's like, if you fucking touch me, I'm gonna punch you. Punch it. Yeah, that's my bitch.
before.
You go by Felicia.
This time it appears that they
You already know, dude. If you punch them, I'm gonna have to knock your dumb ass out. And you know I'm gonna touch on them too. I like that.
Honestly, I think it was an attack. You know, obviously it's not an overwhelming attack. It was just one drone to begin. But it's still an attack nonetheless. I think this is way too serious.
But you know, I be fucking like, I be turning y'all into a little sex league and shit. So fucking, y'all be like, mentally,
largely direct Russian attempt to state's capital via Bucharest. We do know that Russian presence these days are more so deliberate by design than unintentional or accidental. And the fact that this thing flew right across the
you know, I be like sex leaguing y'all out. So mentally, y'all are like fucked up about me. So like, y'all hate me, but then at the same time, you're like, no one used my body like that.
Because it's only one drone.
I'm all over me. Sticking my butt.
Drone that's out of control or is having a navigational issue.
But then y'all be wanting to spend money, but then you're like, but he's a jerk. He doesn't spend money on me, so nah, fuck yeah. Like that's like, damn, why y'all gonna like hurt our beautiful relationship over money? You know? I don't know why you all hurt me. We got fucking stuff.
Just a total accident there.
I'm like, all of you all we could all live in a big house together and be a family. All my heads. We should all just be one big family. I dream about that sometimes. Fucking doing damage control with all of you all. That's my birthday. Like, change it. For the damage control, all my exes in one place, bro. It's exhausting. It's an exhausting dream. I'm like, why do you keep doing this to yourself?
See the giant word integral right in front of it in Cyrillic. That's literally just the.
Oh my god, all are like fucking bitches to each other and shit. And I'm like, lady. We could be a family.
But interesting to see. Additionally, in St. Petersburg, we also were able to see that the WILE Berries facility here is continuing to burn quite badly. It's pretty atrocious looking. This is exactly just like Moscow.
I don't know why I do it to myself.
That berry, man, look at that.
That's why y'all be doing is bitching in my dreams and internet. But I love all of you all. I wish we could have all be together as one big family.
Obviously, I don't think the company can survive if that's the case. I'd be shocked if they
one big poly family.
They're going to have on the Russian economy if one of their biggest companies goes under like that in the midst of this really dire situation.
You know, I wonder, honestly, like, I bet it's going to have a pretty bad effect on the economy because it's probably the equivalent of Amazon inside of Russia. We can also see a fire here as well.
Just like one big old bed.
Apparently a little bit of music.
Such a good booty button with a girl all in my bed.
A couple of seconds. Also, we were able to see that during the attack yesterday, a clip came out that actually showed that a panzer did actually end up shooting down one of the Ukrainian drones, successfully evading the disaster. There's the Ukrainian drone.
I just want to go sit I can sit on.
Oh, praise be! It's just that the building was already hit 3 times before that.
Yeah, and also that little fire starter is like well on the roof right there.
The Russians said, "Oh man, we saved the day. We shut one down, boy." Man, you literally see 3 crater holes in the roof already, and it's like I don't think they saved it. And also, like you said, there's literal kindling falling down on the roof from this explosion. It's like that's the whole point. Problem here.
It's probably the fucking block. That's why we want to end even you or her. Huh?
Meanwhile, we got Russian Sylvester Stallone back here going,
yeah, trying to be like me, bro. I started that shit and then y'all be copying the vibe. But I was only doing that shit because you know y'all would be getting emotional kind of fucking blocking niggas, so I gotta fucking find a way to fucking contact them bitch. But now y'all done took that shit and started trying to do it. Trying to be like me because y'all be fucking influenced by your daddy. Y'all don't even understand, like it doesn't work that way. It only works that way because I fucking blow y'all through the. You can't just be fucking like stealth calling a nigga when you all are vulnerable and with your daddy and then fucking nigga. I'm like, bitch, I can't call that under that bitch. But then y'all be, I bet y'all be thinking, well, we can't keep up, so I guess it wasn't meant to be for us to fuck. It's like, bitch, I wasn't here at all.
What do you do with that?
I wasn't here at all.
It's like they're blowing shit out your factory. It's like, that's what they doing. Simple as. That's the hole that was caused in the roof from the flamingo. Quite a lot of damage. I don't think Flex Seal's fixing that one. I had to say it. But moving us on from here on, we also saw outside of that within the area of Yelabuga, in the midst of Ukraine blowing everything else up,
and I don't really have no stories like that no more, so I don't really be near my phone. And they got me popping up and shit, and I'm like, dude, I'm fucking, I don't talk, we don't have visitors here. My shit shut down for business. Then she said he came to my house and knocked on the door. I was like, dude, who the fuck you knocked on my door? He said nobody answered. I was like, dude, you out of here. You iron, bitch. Because I'm always home with that bitch. I know you fucking like fine. But she swears up and down, she fucking did it. I'm like, you probably was knocking on somebody else's door. So they don't even know.
It's like, it's not going to reach out from here. I mean, you're just going to feel the heat from it.
Жар до сюда доходит, прикинь, мы в метров 100, короче. Жар, ебать там жар, короче.
You said I feel like in my what?
Мы в 100 метрах от него.
Crazy stuff.
What, on a bitch?
Where you're going.
I've been busy. I ain't even been hunting like that.
It's just a saying, that's what they say.
Y'all are fucking stressful and I'm busy.
That's some that
honestly, baby.
You know, you better get
those things are fucking
where you're going. He's going to
Florida. Get your email, baby. It's fucking falling down.
He's not going to Florida, he's going to hell. It's like, man, that's what that means. We also got to see
I'm trying to fucking thing, trying to get me a mansion, and then maybe I'll have me a little bitch to run around the house. I just want a bitch that I can chase around the house.
Okay, that guy's like losing it or something. This person was
Probably got to stop complaining and shit. I'm tired of keeping me right now. I just want to run around the house. What are you going to do?
I said, like, you better get used to heat where he's going. I didn't mean, like, hell.
I can't even mow the way I want to mow.
Oh, I thought you meant hell. Like, I took it as hell.
No, I'm talking like
I'm
the front
just about to
lines.
sneak in something. You got me
The
saying.
front lines really aren't hot, though. They're sometimes warm, sometimes cold, different parts
Oh,
of the
yeah.
season. So I was thinking hell.
That's
so
what
it's
you
going to be, like, warm where he's going. I was like, oh, hell.
What kind of is hell? I mean,
Well,
20 minutes in heaven. Like that's what the Russian government's about to start calling it as their like recruitment campaign. 50 minutes in heaven. Sign up. Like it's like, we also were able to see the fire at the Ingalls barracks in these two pictures as well. Confirmed Ukrainian successful hits all over. Meanwhile, the Russian is causing more terror than it is good. Let's take a look.
I'd be weird like that. That'd be, I guess, that's my love language. I didn't want to fuck y'all and have y'all butt naked in my bed while I ignore you and play the video game.
Mama Luke.
Wait.
Man, I think all those rounds proxy.
Hey, y'all hoes be hating, man. Shit, they're like, why the fuck you gotta be over here if you just gonna play the game? I'm like, cause I know you, dude. I just want you to hear me.
yeah, I think
You
so.
know? And then I come in the room and y'all be watching TV all butt naked and shit. Like, where you been? Like this, I've been in another room. Now you ready to smoke and pop?
For the crowd. It's kind of like the Russian air defense. It's like heat seeking straight for the civilians every single time.
You start watching TV in my room board? I'm fucking like keeping y'all in that bitch like slaves.
I'm kind of kidding about this, but it's kind of a little bit messed up. It's very messed up that the Russian air defenses do this very often. If it's not light machine guns, it's full 30mm proxy fused rounds from a Pantsir or an S-300 missile.
You say it again?
Like this happens so often in Russia these days. This is about as common as
What's wrong with my volume? You sound low as shit now that I finished watching mine. Molly saying to me.
But moving us on from that, we were able to see the drone attack angles throughout the
Give me a mic check.
including drone attacks that were heading towards the Moscow area, the Voronezh region, the Don region, and Crimea and Krasnodar. All successful attack vectors from what we know, like we were seeing.
That's all a little far. We can got the phone off here.
Don, we were able to see a little drone hitting the city right here. I'm out! We can also see
It's
the
not
Chinese
perfect,
real
really.
estate of development that doesn't have a single soul living in it right below. What is it doing, Vadim, блядь? Oh! Да ну нахуй, блядь.
It's just so you ain't get your hooks in the one yet. What the fuck is
Crazy
that?
stuff. wobble wee wobble. We also were able to see what was left of the Wild Berries facility down in Pittsburgh, and muting the music. There's nothing left. Not a single.
Not a damn thing. I tell you what, a whole distribution center gone.
It is like a one with the weed blade. Can't pass it. That actually is gone.
It's a shame the Russia steel factories have been dead because I think they need a new supply of steel.
I think they do, really. Or really a combination of all of them, honestly. I mean, they kind of need everything at this point. I mean, you know, they're taking a lot of losses. That's a lot of
Bro,
damage.
how the fuck to be the last place team and I'm fucking going to work?
And to give you all an update, yes, that guy named Fedorov is still organizing protests to try and get him put back in as Minister of Defense.
Oh, that's because there's 2 people on our team that's 2 and 16. Oh, great.
Oh, I know that is a good clarification there. He's inspiring them. I'm trying to there. Inspiring them to continue, I suppose. Maybe that's a good word. What do you think?
Oh, there's no
That
difference.
sounds better. That sounds better. It's just the people are listening to his words, and his words are not necessarily organizing the riots or the protests, but it's inspiring them, to say the least.
I would have to tell you, folks, I gotta say something here. Now, I know that a lot of people are not a big fan of Cersei. I'm gonna have to say something here. Have y'all noticed that when Cersei was removed from the commander-in-chief, there's no protest to reinstate him, and he's also not out there stirring the pot, so that way there's any inspiration for protests? Are y'all noticing that? Because I'm kind of starting to notice that here a little bit myself. You know, this Fedorov guy seems to keep on going on and kind of stirring the pot for these people to keep protesting, and it's starting to cause a rift in Ukraine. And I'm gonna tell y'all up front, like, not getting involved in their domestic affairs, that's their own deal, and they'll figure that out. But this guy is a lot more divisive and a lot more trouble than he's really worth at this point. If I was in charge of Ukraine, I'd never reinstate the guy, because he's also showing that he's a political risk. Because he's so dog-headed, I'd assume that he'd probably get in odds with another commander-in-chief, the new one, Drapati, and he would probably end up saying, you know, that he needs to go as well, or he's going, or he'd close a whole other stink if anyone disagreed with him.
There we go.
This whole thing's starting to get very sketch to me. I think that it was a good call to have Fedorov resign at this point, seeing how problematic he is.
Yeah, the way he's acting is really unbecoming. It's also very selfish the way he's acting too.
You say what, bro?
It's not my country and Ukraine. It's not my politics to deal with. I mean, just
No, what are you doing, bro? Say it
just
again.
knowing human nature. I mean, this guy has some bad qualities.
Oh, no,
Like,
it's
he
not
doesn't really
bad.
seem to have any like common sense or good discernment, like when to back off. He just keeps going in deeper. And also, there was a report alleging that Zelensky had offered him all kinds of different government positions too, and allegedly he turned them all down and said he wants that one defense minister position back. If that report's true, I mean, this dude sounds like pure trouble. It's like he might have been the troublemaker the entire time, but just based on that action alone.
Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, it's like, this is, and also I see someone saying you're wrong, Federal. Well, I would tell you this, if I was in the middle of a war, and here in the United States, and we needed unity to be able to get through the war, and
Nah, I gotta let the
Secretary of
people
Defense came out
that
and
shit's
just
still
started
keeping
shitting
in. I
on
don't know what the
US
fuck they got
government
in
and
here.
demanding actions to be
It
done
takes
in their
some
own
here.
self-interest, and they didn't back off of it once, and they started to divide the country.
There's that.
And that guy certainly is not the guy everyone keeps making him out to be. Like, that's someone who's putting their own personal interest so high up on the scale that it trumps national interest at that point, and you end up in a situation where this guy is willing to divide the country and possibly tear it apart by stoking these fires and keeping them going for his own personal interest.
There's a Surfside near you?
That's someone who's very dangerous, like, and also allegedly. That's what I'm seeing from here, allegedly. But that's my take on it. And someone like that.
Where the fuck you live at? You live near me now?
And also, I'm saying allegedly for myself, by the way, because I'm saying allegedly about the report that Zelensky offered him a whole bunch of positions and stuff like that. Obviously, we don't know everything being said behind the closed doors.
Why don't you pull up then? Yeah, I think I gotta
It's
put my phone in.
Zelensky's prerogative to remove and replace people. I mean, he's the president of Ukraine. It's his call. So it's like, you know, for a minister to leave,
Can you say what happened?
hell to be and demanding to be reinstated. It's like, first of all, it's very.
What do you mean talking about it? What we say?
It's it's like you were there at Zelensky's leisure. Like it's his prerogative to remove or like appoint you. Like it's his leisure to do that. And also, it's like even if he did,
you still been waiting on that.
Have to have a reason. You can still fire him anyway.
I couldn't get it pulled up, but you know, he used to stay with the pull up, yeah.
And also, I saw someone saying,
Fucking come with a bunch of bags.
Well, that's kind of conjecture and
Okay,
opinion.
hey, I'm here. Like, guess what? I bought all my shit.
Let's for the sake of this discussion here, let's say he
You never
is a
stay for one night, but I bought
definitely
my
not
shit for 3 fucking weeks.
these actions. Like if I was
In a damn roller bin, in a bin that can run.
like a McDonald's or whatnot,
They're
I was
killing me.
very good at managing that McDonald's.
Killing
That's
me,
one
bro.
thing. But if for some reason, like I get sidelined for a promotion from the manager of that restaurant to like a regional manager or something, and then I just start going crazy, and I sit there and
Damn, you fucking hating.
I'm in charge of to try and get back to the upper leadership. I'm no longer that manager.
You ain't their top dog in a minute. You fucking fell off.
Completely overshadowing it with the stink I'm making because I feel like I was slighted or wrong. And in this situation right here, there really isn't room for someone's personal ambitions to get into play, no matter how good they are, because that's very risky and dangerous. And also on top of that, if they put him back in as an Minister of Defense with that kind of dog-headedness, I kind of got to ask the question here, what stops this person from taking this kind of dog-headedness and I'm owed this and I'm owed that, that's kind of sense of entitlement, what stops them from taking that all the way to, you know, say, possibly an extreme, maybe something like a military coup, you know, like, you got to kind of start asking questions like that when someone starts to make this kind of a stink and these kinds of actions at this point, because they get power again, now they feel slighted, they're disgruntled, and we put them back in a position of authority. Who's to say they don't start using that position of authority to further themselves to make sure they can't get slighted again? That's a serious concern.
I don't know if I would go that far to say that he's thinking something like that. But I mean, if he has political ambitions, like to me, it looks like he's like trying to politically like jockey for some like public support or something. If he wants to have political ambitions, it's like when the elections come back around, he can simply run against Zelensky. If he thinks he wants to run the country better,
niggas throw salt on throwing salt. Niggas throw salt, nigga. I was fucking top dog, bro. Right.
Selfish, it's self-absorbed, and also it really reflects badly on like any possible leadership qualities the guy might have had. That's not what a leader would do. A leader would wait until the right time to address it before you start.
One nigga's got a nigga, bro. Little bitch was like, "You're perfect. I've been watching you." She was with her boyfriend and everything. This nigga looking all tight. It's like, "I've been watching you. Everything you do is perfect." I'm like, yeah, you know, bitch, that gotta be top dog. I'm like, you know, I got a car too, bitch. And then I'm like, car? And then I'm thinking, oh yeah, now I just took the bus here. And I'm like, wait, nigga, you ain't going to the bus in school seats.
The Russians or take it on a small
someone got my Loretta. I ain't been fucking top. I ain't been top trying to move everything. Nigga been on his dick ever since.
Oh, no, bro, like, no.
I should have fucking. That's what I get for trying to be a good person. I should have stayed on my grizzly, on my T-grizzly.
I didn't see the part later on. I only saw the first part. I was like, that's funny. And then I saw that, and I was like,
Ain't been fucking shit since, nigga.
Showing that. Hell no.
This isn't a therapy session. This isn't like some type of like therapy session.
I guess God's plan. God got a plan. Go back, get it work. God got a plan for you. There you go. The OG got them grams for you. The nigga get it on my own. Nobody gave a hand to me. Now I bought 20 shows for the band for 20. Don't protect a child that can hold it home. Almost lost it all for everything he owned. Put that on everything. Thought I knew it all, but I ain't know anything. Had to get my bread up, get the cake up. I'm as proud nigga, fucking cake up. That's what sounding, so drugs no more than me. I don't know. I'm on a whole different path now. I'm on some Mormon shit. I'm a Mormon. Just Mormon money, noodle Mormon. I'll do the best thing. So wrong.
All in all, and good to see the louses. Moving us on from that and on into Belgrade, we also get to see that Belgrade got slammed
Funny dude, I ain't done shit ever since, nigga. Bitches be, you know what I mean? All my hoes, I'll be like, damn, daddy, I thought you was a fucking man, homie. Yeah, high school, you was what the fuck happened to you? I got my chicken from down, I got me chicken like a waster. When it comes to that cheddar and when you play with my pickup, bitch, you gon' meet my Beretta.
These fresh attacks. There's the hit.
You look at
Attacking objective Charlie.
no, the bitch? Nah, she was a white bitch. It was just me fucking not really thinking, honestly. Being really, I went too gangster, nigga. I thought I was on some Frankie Mookie shit, nigga. Ain't nobody. Plus, I never really done that. You know, normally I would just have a little bottle and I would be on my lonesome and shit, but I was on some new age shit, like, nigga, I'm just gonna parlay at a little situation and shit. Normally, you know, I just get my little tree and keep it moving and shit. I fucking was on some fucking, yeah, I mean, on some exploratorium shit, nigga. Trying to motherfucking, yeah, I mean, switch the game up. I was too grizzly. I was too grizzly, nigga. I should have fucking stayed on my fucking goddamn, yeah, I mean, I started trying goddamn. Think I'm fucking Nico Bellic. I was on my Nico Bellic shit. Fucking Grand Theft Auto. Was that nigga Clifton Clayton or whatever nigga name?
So yeah, that be shaking, you know, it is what it is. But moving the side into the Kupiansk front, we also able to see
CJ and shit. I think stayed on my best shit.
So move on from that, and I didn't think it was too spicy.
But everything happens for a reason. I don't regret that.
Take a little gander. There's one of them.
Easy come, easy go.
Lower emblems.
Yeah, I think it is.
I gotta tell you, they're shaking the bed out here.
Man, everybody's getting pounded. The Russian forces, you know, everybody.
Oh yeah, that's your little face if you ain't there. Well, when a nigga was in the 300, boy. That joint was mean. I like that car, boy. I ain't gonna lie, this is one of my faves,
These Russians, if only they were,
we had a good little time with a little 300. He was all scared, nigga pulled up in that jump. He like, oh man.
But anyways, moving us on from that, head down from the Lehman front, we also were able to see those Sloviansk front.
Baby was right there, John. She all scared and shit. She like, you gonna kill me? I'm like, bitch, what the fuck you doing on the side of the gas station at 7-Eleven? This bitch stupid. She running that shit. I'm like, bitch, get in the car. I was all scared and shit. You thought niggas gonna kill me.
I gotta tell you, these days, when the Ukrainian drones coming in on, like on the 80 angle screen, those interlocking lanes of fire, I guess you see the Russians getting some from both directions. How many innuendos can we do, folks, before this news wraps up? I don't know. So we're gonna keep counting.
That John was my little Woody.
As you can see, the Russians are, I won't do that one, but you can see the strikes are still effective on the comm system.
My little Woody.
We also were able to see clips that were too spicy to show, and the brand
I'm not on these nigga.
BLK-1 low-cost cruise missile. Apparently, the Netherlands is actively supplying hundreds of missiles to Ukraine.
That's very good. Lotto. On my lotto shit.
Them over the skies. Fella. Whoa!
What you gonna do for Big Mama for real? What you gonna do for my pancake? Mama was kinda cute at first, but she kinda fucked up too.
Screaming by, I was shocked when I saw this missile flying by. I was like, what?
So by 21 Savage, I think that is so amazing.
You can barely see it.
Yeah, I'm like, how the fuck did you let that weird ass nigga get you pregnant? What up? That let me know that she really all talk. She ain't what you say. She a little lonely bitch in the inside. For a bitch to be talking as much shit as she did, she fucking let 21 Savage get her pregnant with that bitch. That bitch anything. Yeah, anything down. Look at myself is a lame. That nigga from England and some shit.
The 93rd, the Holotny Yard.
That nigga's a mega bama. That just let me know, nigga, that bitch for anything. Yeah, anything bitch for that.
I think the Azov is still the best kid out. They get the nicest.
Man, the Azov be getting them
Yeah, he
kills.
do. That's why you don't see anything good. That bitch is asshole.
Seems like their favorite.
For a lame nigga. She a fat bitch for the lame. But that's how shorties be though, for real. They fucking into being fucking, you know what I mean? They talking good game and shit, and then fuck their whole life up, they into it.
We haven't seen one of these.
The more reckless the decision, the more they into that shit. I could be right now, or I can fuck everything up. Oh, I'm gonna fuck everything.
Old time Western.
Oh yeah, ye old pioneer.
Man, I just took the last of my fucking daiquiri, nigga. I'm fucking feeling it now.
Like everybody and their dog outside firing fireworks.
Feeling it now. I'm fucking ready to be down here.
You know what's crazy, man, is that they weren't firing off this many fireworks even for the 4th of July, bro. But they'll go out and break the law for Pioneer Day, man.
Well, I'm surprised, you know, you go more alcoholic bitch. I mean, I'm finna go to the Habibi Poppy. They must not be no Habibi Poppies where you at.
Pioneers
They at the Habibi.
And founding basically the state of Deseret at the time, which will later become Utah.
Oh yeah, that nigga fucking nigga, long live that nigga.
4th of July out here, funnily enough. Moving us on from that clip and on into our next one, we also got to see in the Pokrovsk area some.
That nigga was a legend.
Jeepers creepers. Moving us on from that, we also did get to see the Ukrainians launching some of their flamingos last night. The footage was beautiful. Take a look. There it goes.
But he went to that floor.
Those things are just impressive. Moving us on from that, we also were able to hear that Ukraine was under a major attack today. Most of the country had a drone alert standing on it, at least on the central and eastern regions. And that was the news from Ukraine for this day. And now, moving us on up into Kyiv, it's time for us to finally get to the speech from the President of Ukraine, President Volodymyr Zelensky, here on this day of... Well, actually, before we get to it, I want to get to this poll, so that way we can wrap all this up nice and sweet. Matthew, a lot of people are talking about this total war concept that's going on over there. What are people thinking about that? What are you thinking about that as well?
So as Ukraine launches their
Yeah, and I fucking he got a waffles all the time. And that thing is expensive. That's gonna be like $80 every time we go there.
meeting Russia on their own terms at this point, doing
That's something we can do.
large degree in various different areas of the war. How do you foresee the war unfolding by the end of 2026? And 60% of the people
I like the states from there. They got some good states, but other than that,
16% said Putin will have been ousted by Russia, and 9% said Russia will have reached a deal, and 15% said other. And this one is always tricky. I'm just curious to see what people generally think in the audience, but it's kind of hard to make an accurate prediction about where it's going to go because it's very unpredictable. That's about 6 months away, the end of 2026, and it's just kind of hard to say. It looks like the Russian economy should go down the toilet.
well, this nigga 60 years old, bro. If I ever turn 60, nigga, this boy and put me down.
Russia always finds a way to make ends meet somehow. They've done it for 4 years now.
This bitch, they trying to get damn, trying to turn me in a pawpaw. That's good.
China or something like that. So I'm kind of at the 15% that said unsure and undecided. But enforcer, what say you?
I'd have to say that I'm also unsure and undecided on this one. I feel like the Russian economy is probably going to collapse in a year at this rate, but they always seem to so I would say I'm also unsure and undecided because our accuracy on this has not been
y'all be hating, man. Y'all love Big Papa when I put on that good.
So I hope that
When I let that good, put it on y'all butt. That good.
From the president of Ukraine, President Volodymyr Zelensky. He looks sleepy.
When I put the good on the butt, man, I'm happy right now.
Шановні українці, українки, сьогодні в день росіяни
I'll
завдали
be warm, I'll be covering up with Big Papa.
Мішенню в Бучанському районі Київщини став захід, якого там точно не мало бути. Сьогодні спілкувалися з генеральним прокурором Русланом Кравченком, були доповіді правоохоронців, що є кримінальне провадження за фактом того, що сталося. Звісно, причиною удару є російські ракети, виключно російський терор, але вже тисячу разів усім говорили, що у таких умовах З таким ворогом точно не можна проводити будь-які
Це
виставки
пацана.
зброї. Із купою людей, і тим більше поруч з будинком. Станом на цей час відомо про 10 загиблих. Багато людей отримали поранення і травми. Були ще дуже жорстокі російські удари по Слов'янську та іншим громадам Донеччини, по Харківщині, Херсону, Сумщині, по Одесі та області. Ми знаємо від розвідок та наших партнерів, що росіяни приготували ракети для нового масованого удару по Україні.
Yeah, that bitch, that nigga, you fucking picking that zone up. I'll be getting that bitch up.
Що впродовж 48 годин.
Is that sexy
Будь
red?
ласка, бережіть себе, зважайте на сигнали повітряної
Get her
тривоги.
sexy.
Сьогодні були наради з головнокомандувачем Збройних
I
сил
would get sexy red, but I'm scared my dick won't fall
Євгеній
off.
Хмара з командою Міністерства оборони. Були інші урядовці і прем'єр-міністр України Сергій Корецький. Ми детально визначили порядок кроків, які можуть дати більше захисту нашим містам, нашим селам, нашому півдню, нашій інфраструктурі. Оновлюємо план захисту зернового експорту. Дуже ціную, що всі керівники сектору оборони і безпеки активно координуються між собою. Саме це і нам потрібно. Я вдячний Михайлу Драпатому, Євгенію Хмарі за увагу до деталей та взаємодію. Павло Паліса та команда Офісу президента будуть і надалі допомагати з пошуком та реалізацією рішень. Прем'єр-міністр Корецький готує альтернативи економічні та інфраструктурні, які можуть підтримати стійкість України. Прем'єр, вся урядова команда будуть працювати над максимальною диверсифікацією операцій експорту та імпорту. Виклики значні, дуже. Мають бути і несиметричні рішення. Забезпечення вільним українського ринку, також додаткові експортні маршрути, необхідні програми підтримки українських виробників, плюс робота з нашими партнерами, з нашими сусідами в регіоні. І дуже очікуємо розуміння з боку партнерів. ППО – це перше пріоритет. Всі домовленості мають виконуватись оперативно. МЗС України, всі наші дипломати повинні діяти швидше, і потреби України мають бути гучніше у світі, бо це захисту життя. І важливо, що про все, насправді про про затягування Росією в ключових країнах-партнерах. Цими днями в Україні Лора, близька людина до президента Трампа, ми з нею говорили, і Лора багато побачила в Україні, в столиці, і не не тільки і лавру, і наших людей, і все те, через що ми
You ain't never been around me helping this stuff in a wagon at the end of that little building.
Ми зможемо закінчити цю війну достойним миром. Саме це нам потрібно. Ми готуємось до зустрічі з президентом Америки та його командою. Я дякую Америці, я дякую кожному, хто з Україною, з нашими людьми, з нашим захистом життя. Маємо чітку інформацію від розвідки, що в Росії готують на осінь нову хвилю мобілізації, доволі значну. У цей час росіяни втрачають на фронті більше своїх військових, ще збирається збільшувати атаки і розширювати цю війну. Йому потрібні ще росіяни для участі в штурмах. Маємо превентивно від цього на фронті, у наших далекобійних санкціях, також у MIXTYPE, у нашій дипломатії і, звісно, поздати життя наблизити мир. Вічна пам'ять усім, кого вбила Росія. Слава Україні!
And Ram Slava. And with that, that was the end of the speech from the President of Ukraine, President Volodymyr Zelensky, here on this day of 1612 of the news from around the world. In mind, it's time for us to move on.
Now, how you say he's not putting nothing in the soil?
This is going to be an absolute
sniper gang. Bro, what the fuck, nigga?
Beginning on into an hour. 40 minutes.
I'm fucking playing Battlefield. You think that's what I did?
The question
Fucking jump on top of me and take all the thing up on it.
Anything and everything can be brought up except for religion, politics, climate change, whether the A-10 can be used in modern warfare or not, whether we can nuclear
Take me through there.
and about 50 other things. I'm just kidding, by the way. We can talk about
I know you take it all, man.
What do we got here?
Take it.
To see people talking about it.
Take me through there. Everything. I'm on the red.
Highly against Ukraine.
I was about to say, something really kind of sexy. I'm just scared my people fall.
It's actually wrong.
Take me through there.
A sovereign country, which is Ukraine.
What? What's wrong with sexy?
Day out for 4+ years. These social
What?
podcasters suddenly realize
What's wrong with sexy
they
red?
do something like that. And this happened out of the blue.
That's why I said I'm scared my feet gonna fall off. But I'm
You know, who knows
taking
why?
a break.
It's probably some gimmick or something. Who knows why they're doing that. To me, it seems disingenuous. But I guess at the end of the day, I know why Zelensky took the interview with that crazy lady who he took the interview with. Because he's trying to get the support of the other half of the United States, which generally was against Ukraine.
Wow.
And they fell for it because
Oh,
you know,
wow.
they don't have good
I'm
sense.
so
Or either
thinking,
some
Daddy got think that nigga taking chances out here. He took his fucking penitentiary chances.
Obviously, this lady has the ear of the president, and he had to do it for his own political reasons.
I'm like
to try to
watching
get more
it.
support from the United States. But it's still a shame, though. It's, I see
But he's gonna fuck sexy man. He just fucking taking on real.
these people are disingenuous. It's like if they didn't realize before what
There's
actually was
the taking hell inside
there's no
here.
explanation for
I
why
think I'm about to see my little dude. Let me put my blue on the motherfucking.
I think that's obvious.
See?
Yeah.
If you want it.
That's kind of the running trend these days. Also, it kind of shows folks how stupid some political movements are, because there was a whole anti-Ukraine movement here in America, generally pioneered.
Come on, something red can
Out of the
do.
blue, they just changed that. It's like, why? It's like,
You look at
everybody in America was just working off of a crock of
We gonna
bullshit.
get your blue back.
3 years at this point, just because. But I'll tell you all this, folks. Here's the interesting thing. This is how the stupidity of this works here in this country. Whoever's in charge, like,
Whoa, Drake sucking on sexy red toe?
you know what? I'll put it this way, because this is the only way this is
Okay.
played. Republicans in charge, and they're making any actions.
Whoa, this nigga Drake sucking on sexy red toes.
If that's
Whoa, and I thought I was fucking a bean.
If a Democrat does something and they start the ball rolling, then all the Democrats will be for it and the Republicans will be against it. That's how it works. Because in the beginning of the war in Ukraine, when Biden was president, the war started.
This nigga champagne poppy. They got champagne poppy sucking on sexy red toes. I can see that shit. Shenanigans.
Support Ukraine, then a lot of those folks on that side went completely against the war, and then overnight Zelensky.
Yeah, Ursula Raymond got something.
The whole Ukrainian military is basically Nazi Germany, all that deal. It's been going on for 23 years. And now that there's a Republican in charge, the whole thing's doing a flip. Slowly and surely. Now the war in Ukraine's good, and it's a good thing that it's going, and the Ukrainians are good people. And I would have a feeling, folks, because this is usually how the ebb and flow goes. But there's now going to be some people on the left who are now going to do a complete 180 along with that as well, and now say the Ukrainians are actually bad people for this, that, and other reason. I'm not saying that that's how everybody with those political affiliations thinks.
Boy, don't
but
do
that's what
that.
talking voices think, and that's what they say. Because,
I think you do that. I'm a real rat.
one side's doing something,
Hey, you
no matter how just
I'm sexy red.
have to take the other side just because the other side
I
is
thought you right. That pissed me a little freak. Can't suck.
endlessly. It was like that with it was like that with
Oh, what?
the war in Ukraine. It's been like that with a load of stuff. Like whatever decision is made by one group, the other group's just going to take the opposite stance.
Well, you know what's really disturbing to me is people like people who follow these
What's the worry? Where's the worry? What's the worry?
recognize that Ukraine's fighting for its life. Rush off a NATO
Where's the Illuminati?
for Ukraine to keep the fight going and keep Russia at bay and win the war on their behalf. It benefits NATO and Ukraine, and we've understood that for a very long time since the very beginning of the war, and everybody here on this channel has largely understood that too. So I doubt many people here follow them anyway. But for the people that do follow them, which apparently is a decent number of Americans follow these people, I haven't heard hardly anybody asking them why
You saying you what? Only time you like everything like that for you?
it's really concerning how there's a large swath of America that does not have any critical thinking skills whatsoever to even ask the question of these people. Why do
that's why you call that shit. You be like, nigga, don't pick up. Don't pick up. I just want
not public to the people they're talking to. So, you know, I mean, that would be a pertinent question to ask. I don't really see
that's when I was super pissed.
making blanket statements like, oh, well, you're fighting for good,
you know.
mistaken for fighting for good. It's like, yeah, but why didn't you realize that before, though? It's like, what suddenly changed you to change your mind and start believing that?
Well, yeah, that's what I was. I was super ultra mega gangster. Nigga, he led nigga lesbian, nigga.
My group.
Nigga, don't pick up my gun, nigga.
Just watch. It'll happen because
But
I'll tell you this.
what happened, man?
And I still remember it to a T.
I fucking became a Jehovah's Witness and shit.
With the COVID pandemic and what happened at the beginning of it, because when it first started, it was under a Republican, and so they were like, Republicans were all.
I don't wear tight jeans like the white boys, but I do get wasted like the white boys.
It was early 2020 when that was all going on. Very early 2020.
That's when I was on my white boy black boy shit, nigga. White boy black boy. Shut it down because they hate Chinese people. Yeah.
So that's the only
I'm sorry I couldn't answer my phone right now, but
now the quarantine's
and then
the Republicans were against it immediately overnight. That's just how it works. I remember that back then. And I'm not trying to get into the politics side of things. I agree with Matthew. We do need to avoid that. But what I'm trying to say is that the talking heads that are involved in any kind of partisan politics, they're trying to take the complete opposite stance, no matter whether it makes sense or not, from the other side. Not saying that like people in the chat who are left or right take those positions, because a lot of y'all.
You saying what? Such a girl.
Y'all have sense. Y'all actually think with reason. But that's how it works. Like that's how it works on the talking head side of things. I hate to tell y'all folks, a lot of these talking heads don't really have that much sense. I mean, they kind of just hop on something.
But I was more successful with it.
Thinking about it, and they just kind of run with it. And if you ask any of them about it, they have really no clue what they're even supporting.
First thing I was motherfucking that ninja, boy.
Too, which is even crazier. It's like these people that are like wackos. It's like they have like
What the hell are y'all saying?
Advisors. It's like, I mean, that's not saying.
What the hell are you talking about?
To be honest, if these are the people that are being trusted to like give advice to people, I mean, that's not a good sign, to say the least. It's like, I'm not expecting a genius to be up there advising people, but we don't want wackos up there like having.
And then like you trying to lay it on them down in bed, take my clothes off, put me a little movie on.
Yeah, I mean, it's concerning. And also, folks, I tell you, what I'm trying to say here, just to wrap it up in a lesson.
Put a little movie and shit, you can find us something. I want something Netflix, like old times.
Let me say this with what I was just saying a second ago. What I'm wanting to tell y'all.
What, bitch? You can't log on now?
An independent, a Republican, or a Democrat, never listen solely to the political talking heads that speak on the left and the right and the center to formulate your opinions. You might think you can trust them, and maybe you can, but usually a lot of the times they don't really know what they're talking about because they're talking about it from an emotional, politicized standpoint, which doesn't really factor in a lot of the facts and the information involved or what really.
Nah, bitch, I thought you said y'all was just jumping on back and forth. Now you got rules and shit to this shit.
As like giving you any factual information. That's one thing that I'd like to say about this channel is that we don't take political sides, and so we just talk about it from what is in America's interest. We don't talk about it from a cultural war perspective or domestic political perspective and part that on the foreign policy. Policy as in what's in the interest of the United States and what isn't, and then what problems we either.
I'm a real rat.
But in the nuances of it, we still have to do this regardless. Like we don't get into that.
Get them sexy. Get them sexy.
Yourself and millions of people to believe one thing, like the Ukrainians are bad people, when in reality, they're the people we.
What the fuck is that? Sexy red?
And apparently a whole bunch of people are just starting to act like like they're realizing that, when I've kind of believed that they've known that the whole time. They've just been playing being the contrarian game for a couple of years. Now they're just deciding to switch that because it's not really in vogue anymore. Or they were just so ignorant they didn't even know that, and they just kept running with that story for 3 years when any amount of research would have proven that their point.
Who is that? That's that fucking ugly bitch from Miami.
So I hope that addresses that the best.
I gotta see if she's up there. I think I've seen her done more.
In part, which is like Jay King just said, believe your eyes, not
Who
your
the fuck is
ears.
that?
Believe what you see, and believe what the statistics are, and what the information we have is, and what the standpoint of the United States is. And never.
Oh, okay, I see her. That's good. He was with that weird bitch. He looked like she was screaming for help and shit. Okay.
We don't expect y'all just to blindly
That bitch, he dating little Uzi little ass, and he all short and she tall and shit.
Like, when we're making an opinion, we make it perfectly clear we're speculating, like when we're making an opinion. But if we're telling y'all something's happening in war, we're showing footage, we're showing videos,
Oh, okay,
like a lot of these people out there will simply come out and make claims like Zelensky, like this will be what they're saying.
This one right here, and this your fingers will need to go the same, huh? Yeah, JT, this is JT world.
To say that, but all these people that listen to him just blindly follow it, like it's just truth. It's like not once do these people say, "Well, where's your proof that the guy's on something?" It's like you don't have any proof. They don't say that. That's disturbing to me when you start seeing people in masses start acting like that, just blindly listening and following the people and not demanding evidence and stuff. It's like these people are not fit to like.
What's she, a stripper?
They came and ask critical questions.
JT, he's like a stripper.
Someone says, like, John, can you talk about the literal Nazis in Ukraine? Oh, two things can be true at once.
I'm not sure.
That's trying to go out and pick.
You got some nipple pasties on.
Because you can spin any story you want. Like, I don't know if you know this, but there's.
He said she came home when she was in jail. He goes, what is up with you girls? The girl figure's going crazy.
U.S. military. And you could spin a story any way
He
you
said
want.
she just came home from jail. The damn girls are fucking gangster thugs and shit, trying to be more thugger than the boys. He said.
When that's not true at all. I mean, like, it's a tiny little fringe extremist
The
group.
shorties are just fucking going
In
through.
the military, much like there is in every military around the world. I mean, think of any country in the world or any institution.
Hell yeah, fucking treat me right, passing their pants up.
Anywhere in the world.
He's right, okay, KKA.
Does that mean that the whole university is in on it? It might in some
I'm
cases.
surprised, bitch. Y'all right? 2026, niggas are surprised these days, they get dirty.
You have a Jewish president of Ukraine. It's really hard to say there's
Y'all fucking the whole man too. They said niggas out here to fry. They can think they was the.
You know, that's kind of the thing that makes it hard to say, oh yeah, that's a fair point. There are Nazis in Ukraine. There's Nazis everywhere. Like there's a little group of them in every single country, but they're not running the
That's a new way, nigga. We in a new way. I'm on a new level.
For the communist in the United States either. They're a tiny little group.
Shit, you gonna get with it, bitch.
People don't look at it as they exist, so you just spin this whole thing out
You gonna get.
like whole countries like that when it's not. So
Yeah, motherfucker, you gonna get with this shit, bitch.
because I think let's see. Someone said yes, but there is entire units made up of these. No, okay, no, we haven't seen that anywhere. Like I haven't seen that myself.
Hey, my business. You got me so man. This shit, I'm trying to piggyback video for it.
Used to be the only legit, like far-right fascist organization. The Ukrainian military was in the process after the Donbass conflict and the reforms in 2018 to remove all of those questionable elements and political philosophies from that unit. That's literally and I'm also confident it's a little bit disingenuous to say, you know, oh, look at that. Because if you look at the Donbass conflict as a whole, on the Ukrainian side, there were far-right units that popped up, and on the Donbass conflict side, on the Russian side, there was nothing but communist groups that popped up. And if you knew the atrocities that both of those groups were conducting during that time, you would say, hell, there's really
I need that thing. Like your passenger music, press, yeah.
formed all of those units and completely removed any of those elements from them. On the other hand, the Russians never did that. So the Russians are still largely with the communist sort of brigade elements that conduct atrocities. The Ukrainians muted that out, and that's also a big difference that you're not really factoring into the nuance there. But anyways, with that, we are on to the next one.
Okay, so before we come into our super chats, real quick, we have an update about the hits inside of Saudi Arabia. The hits were devastating. We have our video here of daytime footage showing the hits at Jazan, Saudi Arabia, and it looks like there are several locations of impacts. In fact, it looks like the oil terminal area, it might be destroyed, actually.
Yeah, get the door down.
Confirm that for a fact. But as you see here, though, multiple hits. The entire sky appears to be full of what could be maybe oil.
What time is it going over?
It's only Jazan, though. I still don't have any footage at all.
I don't know.
The other port, what's the other one called? Yondu, that's what I was trying to think about. There's no evidence that one's been hit directly, but
You got that Chick-fil-A station. That's what I heard.
Yeah, I would say this is probably the only time we can confirm that's been hit because there's literally no proof.
You got that Chick-fil-A pussy.
But Yambu, well, Jason, actually, correction there, has been hit pretty heavily at this point from these recent attacks. It's not looking too good down there. So,
Damn, I y'all trying to hate on that Big Daddy, Big Worm.
he's a little bit down there. So
They hating on a nigga body, yada yada, curvy, crazy.
Jumping back chats here. This one goes to Radiz for Rubes, who puts in a $50 support. Thank you very much, Radiz, for that 50, and we do appreciate the generous support. He said, call the mat and take one from the chat. And look at this, we have a nice cult member.
I'll be hating on a nigga body, yada yada.
It's a parody. That's what they call it these days. It's a parody, a brand new word.
You know who used to be pretty now, ugly fucking Megan.
Came up with it. But that's what we call that. Called the map parody.
He ain't never been right ever since they started that bitch in the front.
Part of this parody. But Radiz said, take one from the chat. We shall take one from the chat. And this one's going to go to none other than Sevros, who said, can you explain to the chat the Mylar blankets, the versatile all-weather tool for camping, get up and go in bad weather? Honestly, that sounds like a put that right there. But Mylar blankets are really cheap. They're survival blankets, actually. That's usually how they're marketed for the most part. It's basically...
They said they need her knees. What the fuck?
That way, if you're in a survival situation,
crazy shit like that. You better call Becky with the
super toasty, depending on how cold it is or how wet you are from, getting in like a body of water or something. But it will save your life most of the time. So it's like a last step to keep you alive, basically, if you're in survival situations. That's what it is. It reflects body heat. But enforcer, what say you?
and that is true.
He only wants me when I'm not there.
Create like an incubator sort of a sense, but it doesn't get like
You better call Becky with the
same thing over. But a big thanks to you for this incredible
My
support.
brother put some fucking TV on, watching a little movie.
For making this
And
channel
we
reality
fucking going through some
thanks to you
talent.
so much once again. And with that, we're on the next one.
We also have a $50 support from
We
Robert.
going through some things right now. Okay, find a little YouTube jump. Whoa, who are you talking to like that? Slow down.
It actually could. Like anything that Ukraine currently has globally or
Wait a minute.
so I would say, yeah, I think they could. And I think that would
I ain't thinking about
the
you.
United States. Because those sorts of weapon systems and innovations are incredibly important for us because it allows us for us to
Sorry, I ain't sorry.
So
Sorry.
a big thing support. I hope it does rest that incredibly well. And with that, we're on
We
the
don't
next
go.
Also, do you know where Mylar blankets? Do you know who produced those or developed the technology behind it?
Was it Joseph Mylar Smith?
By the time you see me, I be long.
It's not.
He only wants me when I'm not there.
Pull that up though. Fact check me on the spot. Go ahead and give me a fact check.
You better go pick it. We better do it.
Let's see here. So apparently,
Look here.
Oh, so I am right. Yeah, I thought it was. I think Mylar
You don't want to call me daddy. You don't want to call me.
or something. I'm pretty sure. I think.
let's see.
I'm thinking about you. I'm sorry.
The center of innovation. Good goodness.
Yeah, damn,
Like, I gotta say, man, NASA really has made some cool stuff in the past. It's so sad that they get no funding these days. Oh well. But anyways, a big thanks to your support, Robert Betancourt, and helping this channel to keep on running. With folks like you are helping us to make this thing possible. And
I blame that bitch. He started dancing.
Also have a support from Michael.
Now look at the whole you're out of control.
He said the craziest new
Yeah, I'm saying monkey ass.
29 Davy Crockett and long live Lee Spring Army.
Double flopping ass, you know what I'm saying? Fucking goddamn.
I gotta show y'all this or more so a nuclear recoilless gun. That's it right there. The Davy. It was
that's called a little boy in Fallout.
Boom, diada, boom, diada. Like I didn't hear that little radio thing playing. Yeah, Fat Man. Yeah, I think that. Oh man, I'm telling you. But this was a nuclear recoilless gun, which could be used by the Army infantry in times of war. And these things were actually deployed quite significantly, folks, in Western Germany. I believe during the 1960s and 70s. But the idea was that you could fire one of these things, which was equivalent to 10 to 20
I
tons
played
of
like what, 5 games? I got like 4 wins. I'm only about to play this my last game. You about to win this.
You can actually see them here.
I don't know the other team, but that's on the game.
You see the propellant charge being inserted.
That might end up being a
The
loss.
launch piston. And last but not least,
Well, I became back from worse, so we can get this fucking goddamn capture point. They can stop playing
Also,
games.
by the way, I think for 2026, I think calling it Fat Man, I don't think that's politically correct. I think we need to call this the slightly rotund man or something.
a plus size. Like, it's like,
We got the lose though right here. They done captured all the points.
$10.99 a month.
oh man.
About to take the fucking house up.
I mean, it wasn't
Give
really
me a
that
bottle of water on my room.
maybe like the best way to explain is, well, it was actually pretty big when you think of it. Like,
Also,
10
my
20 tons
little
of TNT
meat
is
coming there
exactly
on our
small.
back.
I was trying to think of a bomb that'd be similar to, and I can't really think of a conventional.
Not on their
It's
back.
pretty sizable. It's just that it wasn't like,
No, you just live motherfucker loving. You gon' live my loving, my loving, cause love me.
just sitting there, covered in radiation, like I think still.
No, you live with that thing with you.
It's crazy to have in a museum.
Why?
Well, you know what? You know what's crazier than that? Click back on the picture. The most dangerous part of this exhibit is outside of the
Listen, manhandling you.
What do you mean?
The nuke, the warhead, is outside of the area they have cordoned off. They have the tripod cordoned off, but the nuke's outside, so you could touch it.
Oh, well, I mean, that's not really the problem, man. They're just trying to stop someone from reaching over and pulling the trigger to fire. But, you can like smack that thing.
What happened? For me?
Yeah, they called it. You know why they called it
When?
Davy Crockett?
Why do they call it that?
Did you say can you?
See, they called it that.
No,
see, this is the problem. They set up a joke.
that's what it is.
Really run. Like, I was trying to quickly
It's
punch in Davy Crockett to learn something about his history real quick so I could like come up with a joke. But the joke is me because I didn't have a joke ready, so I don't really know why they called it Davy Crockett.
WWE and shit. Come on, keep me on.
That's like the only
He's a
reason.
what?
He was a folk hero. Davy Crockett was a big guy for the early Americans.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
And also, our joke completely fell out. Everyone's like, well, Scott.
You said you had a lot of noise around.
It's not live.
I'm
We're just
joking.
kidding. We're just playing. We know it's disarm. I mean, they're clearly not going to put a live nuke in a museum. I mean, like,
Yeah,
that's
that's-
mental.
Russia fight.
Well, I mean, the Russians put.
Yeah, the pussy plant.
Museum. So, I mean, that wouldn't be a part of. Here in America, what are you kidding, folks?
You fucking pussy plant me, plant me down with that pussy.
It was a part of the joke there. And it went right over everyone's heads because everyone went, it's disarmed, idiot. It's like, man.
That pussy plant. Oh, we about to win, dog. That's what you be coming back in.
It is time for us to move on and thanks for your support and always keep running, Michael Davidson. And I hope you enjoyed that short time. And with that, we're on the next one.
And that pussy plant, man. You put that C plant.
C45, and thank you very much, Ryan, as well for that $50 support right there. I don't think you left.
They're not selling at all. You think they're going to run that bottom off their company at all?
I'm double checking to make sure you did not leave a comment. I don't want to miss it if there
Fucked
was
up,
one.
boy, I don't fuck up that
I
lady.
don't think there was. I don't
What I
think there
do
was.
to baby?
Yep, it was just support. So, Enforcer, what say you?
They just want to have my baby.
Like you, we wouldn't be able to make this channel possible. We wouldn't be able to keep it running. And so a huge thanks to you once again.
Oh,
This is just that playlist. And with that,
it's
we're on
gone down.
Also, by the way, a big
Bitch,
shout
don't call my
out to
phone.
also put in a $50 support right there, and was the one to actually ask that David Crockett question right there. I think earlier when I was getting the breaking news, I must have gotten mixed up, so I'm trying to see where the heck did Michael Davis.
I'll get a Chelsea. Oh no, what's inside my pocket? That's a better cheese. Oh yeah.
Even threw in a super chat.
Hold me back. Hell no.
Right there.
Hell no.
That's a complete mystery to me right now. Let me see here. Yeah,
damn, did we just fucking come back, bro?
Lost as to how that could have even occurred. It's like a mystery.
That's what I'm talking about.
But Enforcer, what say you?
Well, I'd have to say, regardless, we do thank you, Blue Cheese, greatly for that support. We be loving that blue cheese. And with that, we're on the
We
next
about to. These niggas have fucked around and shoot again and lost it.
Thank you very much, Lord Cog, as well, for that support. He said, thanks as always for what y'all do.
And I gotta thank you for the support, Lord Cog, and enjoying what we do. We work our hardest here on this channel. Sometimes 6 and 7.
Hold the lines, boy. Don't throw that.
To keep this thing running.
No.
Sometimes that drives us crazy. Sometimes we're on it. Well, every day we're on it. But sometimes it does drive us crazy. And we're greatly appreciative to know that folks like you enjoy this channel and help us keep this thing running. Because I made a video, folks. A lot of y'all will notice this. I made a video on Monday of this week. And I was saying on the night before that, I was like, man, I can't wait to get a day off of work. And then I had to work on Monday. Making videos isn't that bad, folks. It's like a 3-hour day doing that, so it's not a whole lot, but it's still work. So technically, I'm on like I'm like getting towards like my 20th day of work at this point. It's like the 19th day. Well, no, yeah, it's the 18th day now. So I'm going to be getting on to my 19th and 20th, and then Monday, this upcoming Monday.
Oh yeah, you gonna put it on me?
Finally will be my day off. Hold up, man. Let me think. Today was my video day.
Yeah, that's what I do. Damn, we almost won, dog. That's some bullshit.
Thank goodness. But anyways, with that, I hope you did address that well. And big thanks to your support, and helping this channel to keep running. With that, we're on the next one.
Damn, that was a close match, bro.
Blue cheese is Michael Davis. We have solved the mystery full circle.
Damn, boys, we almost won that one. I was just about to talk some shit, too.
26. Apparently, that is his username, and the @handle is.
They fucking be moving too much, bro. Like, once you fucking get the fucking zone, you're not supposed to run off, bro. You're supposed to sit there and play defense, bro.
I must have mistyped it as the @ symbol when I put that in there, so that explains it right there, just to make sure that I'm not losing it. But anyways, thank you, Blue.
Damn, I got like 12 views.
For that support.
My fucking channel started to fucking take off.
None other than Marion